let's do a cheers to the Sobeys Safeway Liquor Beer for the podcast.
We ride again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
Check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello. It's not static AM radio. It's the Nielson Show. Let's go. Everybody tune in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromala intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. The cracker 6 o'clock and logging with some sirloin bites.
.605. Happy Friday morning and welcome inside the Nielson Show once again. Lieutenant Eric, Wil Fraser in for Dustin Nielsen and YouTube Trev. And, not apologies, but doing a little throwback, Will, to the AM radio days with the quality of that 6 o'clocker check-in song, courtesy Johnston and Victoria, who sent it from his Nokia phone.
Yeah, I appreciate
on the road.
Anything that can be in mono is just better.
It's easier on the ear. It's comfort.
I like when the sound feels like it's coming out of the center of my head. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. You don't have to be grabbing it from everywhere. You know where it is, and it's beautiful. Yeah. The Nielsen Show presented, of course, by Southford Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot out in Fort Saskatchewan. www.southfordchev.com. Right now, you can get Silverado 1500, Silverado HD's employee pricing for the month of June. And, of course, Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta. Download the app today. Friday, not as busy of a show as yesterday, obviously, with the amount of guests that we had. That was I think we set a record for this Nielsen Show. Of course, Dustin Nielsen on the call last night. Elks falling. We'll have more on that. To the Bombers. He will continue his CFL call tomorrow in Regina. But we do have Marshall Ferguson, CFL and TSN. He'll be by an hour or two. And Chris Johnston of TSN to do a little head dive into tonight's NHL draft. And, that rumor mill, hey?
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk the Sordif deal? It's all quiet, not just on the Western Front, every front. The North, the East, the South, and the West.
This is a league that continues to misunderstand what we want in the offseason. And we want to set our hair on fire. Like the announcement that, they're probably just going to sign a new CBA today. Where's the drama in that? Aren't we supposed to worry all offseason and internet? And they're getting it done early.
Cap's going up. It's fine. We're all
this running a business efficiently is just not entertaining.
No, I think
I do appreciate one
Gary
thing.
Gary Bettman would have to politely disagree.
I do appreciate Gorton in Montreal giving the kiss of death to the draft by going, we're not going to do anything stupid. Was that the exact quote? Which just feels like as soon as he said it, you knew, oh, something crazy is going to happen.
Yeah, this is like Armstrong in St. Louis being like, you're just kind of offering up there. Hey, come and get it. Draft tonight, of course, takes a bit of a different tone in this town now, given where the Oilers are at. But they still have that third rounder. Maybe that'll be in play today. Maybe they'll have a boatload more of picks, depending on something that may or may not happen prior to. I don't know. I mean, it's all up in the air right now.
Jeff Gorton's quote was, Habs won't do anything stupid this week, which sounds like...
Just this week.
Exactly.
Why'd you get this week?
A really specific qualifier.
Yeah. After this week, though, bets are off.
Exactly.
I mean,
I cannot make any promises about next week.
You don't need to throw that in, man. You were fine. Period. Stop.
Why did he say this week?
We're not going to do anything stupid. Oh, sounds great.
This week.
What a business plan. 780-218-9999 is the Paris Jewelers inbox.
It's the ring box. It's the bling box. It's the Paris Jewelers inbox. And they got lots of fancy shiny things. Look at this, look at that. Not just for the ladies. They got jewelry for men too. The ring box, the bling box, the Paris Jewelers inbox.
Ooh la la. Ooh la la.
Yes, that's right. Paris Jewelers, a variety of locations here in town or online at parisjewelers.com. Do not pay for 1 year right now. Engagement rings, wedding bands are on sale. 780-218-9999 is the number to text. Lots of texts flying in, obviously, from last night's Green and Gold post-game show with Maddie and Milne. Your thoughts on last night's game. Your thoughts on how the next 24, 48, was it 72?
Okay, keep going.
144?
Okay.
288 hours might go.
You are crushing it.
Yeah, I haven't even had a lot of this yet.
Now do pi. 3.149.
Sure. But your thoughts on how the week will go? As Gordon said, maybe nothing crazy this week, but
this week
I can't do the math 2 weeks out, but you know what I'm saying. 780-218-9999. H.E. Pennypacker. Hey, gents, wondering if I can get a conch. Today's my last day of teaching. Whoa! 32 years overall and 30 of those in the amazing village of Hay Lakes. Wonderful community, school, and people. It's been an awesome ride. Congratulations to you, H.E. Pennypacker. You got Yeah, that's a 21 gun salute here for old Pennypacker. Well, good on you. 32 and 30 in Hay Lakes. 30 years in Hay Lakes, eh? Coach,
listen, not on you, but did the kids get any smarter? Just a fair question.
He's seen. Think about that. 30. We talk about like a decade of darkness, and if you were 20, missing out on the Oilers during your prime drinking years, 30 years. You're doing like a.
Well, you're doing God's
that's
work.
A town. That's the kids of the people that you taught. Like
it's not just the kid. Yeah, it's multiple generations, probably of some real idiots.
Coach Mike says only Stauffer has the ability to send the Oilers fan base into an absolute tailspin. Well, I
challenge accepted.
I think one of the paraphrasing quotes out there over the last couple of days is they're going to do something you don't know anything about. And, well, yes, generally, I mean, so.
It's like a bubble universe that just canceled itself.
Yeah. Like, we don't know it because it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, that's right.
Well.
The unknown.
Sure. Chris the plumber says you guys are all muffled now. No, that was just the song. I hope I'm sure we're coming through.
Are we better now?
Crystal clear. It is your clear choice for Edmonton Sports.
Get back to us.
Edmonton Sports Talk.com. Of course, the iHeart TuneIn radio apps today and on YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube this morning, hit the like, give us a thumb up, and subscribe to the channel. Rip City Step says Trev was being real.
Trev was being real.
Why is that? Is that
I don't know what that means.
Can we
Rip City I think you're the big fan.
Have we thrown Trev up on
I don't know what that means.
For those watching on YouTube?
Trev has a house party tonight and he's cleaned up good.
He is so handsome.
Yeah, somebody's going to be riding that face.
I don't want to know.
He is. Look at
you
him.
Want to. You don't like the attention of a clean face now.
Oh my
It's a
God.
different look.
You know what? Your mom taught you how to brush your teeth, first of all, right?
Okay.
Like
every day.
that is.
They're veneers.
Oh, are they? Even better.
Oh.
Even
Yeah.
better.
Wow. Just
No,
look at you.
Fraser, I
Just-
think you're gorgeous. So
No,
thank you.
I am an old, crusty old
Same
man.
with you, LT.
Look at you.
Oh, well, thanks, boys. Yeah, it's going to be
To have one more night
again the Friday
with
started
that
off.
kind of a face. Oh,
Stop.
what I would get done. I'd play so many video games.
Friday night, hey? Friday night face.
Yeah, again, Friday started the right way
Did
today.
you clean
hopefully.
shave it, or is there still a little bit of stubble?
A little bit of stubble.
A little Velcro ride,
Yeah,
hey?
yeah, just a little bit of stubble.
Yeah,
Didn't go quite down. I just have my razor, like my electric one.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Are you afraid of actual razors?
No, not at all. No. I just felt like doing this. It was quick. I didn't
Yeah.
really.
My
I kind of
sons
like
are.
the stubble look, maybe a
My
little
sons
bit.
are terrified of actually using a razor on their face.
Does something happen? I mean, is
No,
it's
I
just
think they're just big babies.
like a
They've been
cat
raised
with tinfoil.
They've been raised by this hunk of masculinity. So of course the mere thought of using a razor is terrifying to them.
They'll be back.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you should get it down to the wood and then
Okay.
put on some aftershave tonight.
Oh,
Eh?
I actually don't have any, but I
Little
know
Old
you
Spice.
do.
Yeah. I'll
Maybe I could borrow some.
I'll put some in a bag for you, a Ziploc bag. You can-
I bought a bottle of Old Spice a month ago.
Did you? Good
Yeah,
for
I
you.
was in the grocery store and I was just like, I don't think I remember what it smells like.
So you just
And so I just
could have probably helped
I
yourself
was
there in
just
the
like,
aisle. If
I
you,
think I'm buying some Old Spice just to remember what
just to remember.
all
Yeah.
the departed people in your life, like you grow up,
Yeah, yeah,
right,
yeah.
with that smell
yeah.
on
Yeah.
every second.
You had a cry.
Yeah.
The emotions were.
Yeah. Scent memory is one of the strongest that there is.
So some Old Spice for tonight, down to the wood.
Perfect.
You'll be
Yeah.
just smooth as silk.
Yep. Yeah, I can't wait. It'll be fun.
Is that is it a house party that
Yeah.
you're going to?
Yeah.
A big one, or is it an intimate gathering?
The last few times it's just been like right around 20 people.
Is there
so
going to be some strange there? Is there going to
I
be
think
some unknown unknowns?
I think so.
Oh. Well, you know what Stoff says about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
We don't know what's going to happen tonight.
Yes.
We don't until it happens.
Exactly.
And that's
Hang
so
on.
something might happen we don't know anything about.
Exactly.
That
is a perfect description.
Yeah.
Of Trev's Friday night.
Okay, let's get into Thursday night here.
Okay.
And it was the Elks in Winnipeg.
Doing elk things.
Well, look, I mean, this was a game that was, tied heading into the fourth. Ultimately, the quality rises to the top in the Blue Bombers. Zach Collaros had a hell of a game.
Yeah,
To which
depending
he
on
had a hellacious headshot. Boy, I can't believe he's still playing after taking that hellacious headshot. The guy shouldn't even be playing football anymore. That's all I used to hear, but now he's not even checked, not even protocol. Anyway, so the Elks fall 36-23 to the Bombers, dropping Edmonton to 0-3. The Bombers now 3-0 on the season. We were talking around the office here. It does seem, well, they're all must wins to a degree. But next Sunday here at home, 5:00 to Ottawa. That's probably when you circle and say, geez. And they have been putting things together, I think, a bit over the past 3 weeks. Week 1, I think they played a pretty stout defensive game in the first half, limiting what BC did. Last week, they ran into a buzzsaw in the Montreal Alouettes. That's a tough out. Last night, you saw things that you could say, okay, I mean, Trey Ford's pocket presence still maybe isn't as sharp as you'd like it. J.C. Sherritt's defense maybe sometimes gets figured out a few more times than not. But I think you're still seeing some things in the roster and the coaching that give you hope. 28 points, 23 points on the road in Winnipeg is going into the fourth tied. I mean, something to build off of, but I know that patience in this market is not something people want to subscribe to right now. So another loss. Winnipeg's a good team. Montreal's a great team. And BC, too, will be up there in the West. So Edmonton right now kind of finding themselves, I mean, albeit Hamilton 0-2 going into tonight's game against Montreal 3-0. So Toronto 0-3. I mean, you're still hanging around there in some other teams.
I
but
think all we've seen is that there is much more certainty at the top than at the bottom of the CFL this year.
Yeah, and I mean, I still hold out for Ottawa to be decent. I still hold out Hamilton to be decent. Toronto, I know a lot of fresh faces. Murphy always likes to stock the cupboards there, but when Chad Kelly comes back, I would assume that they get back up to playing at least 500 balls. So I think you hold up the mirror and you say, the easy out was us all along. Like, that's what you'll kind of figure out here. But, I mean, you hope for steady improvement. That's what you want to see week by week. I think it was maybe more of a complete game, obviously, as I mentioned, tied heading into the fourth. So some things to chew on. Your thoughts, 780-218-9999, or in the nasty chat as well. It's one of those things that you can't really speed up this process at all when you're looking at all the change and the do-over. We talked about it yesterday in a Nashville Predator model of going out in the offseason and reshaping and rejigging a squad. It does take time. Maybe sometimes that time never comes even.
It also takes luck as well.
Yeah,
right?
and you got to be good to create that
and
luck.
The schedule maker did not give the Elks any luck. Right, it's not like they started the year taking on the Sisters of the Poor, right? So that is a part of the bad luck that they faced, is having to go through a juggernaut for their first 3 games of the season.
Sailor chimes in. Happy silly season, my favorite time of year. I'm taking crazy pills today. Arvidsson and Ekholm will be moved to free up an additional $10 million in cap space. But wait, there's more.
Okay.
Oilers offer sheet Noah Dobson to 8-year, $10 million after signing Evan Bouchard and Frederick. According to Cap Friendly, we can do this now. Henrique, McDavid, Hyman, Podkolzin, Draisaitl, Savoy, Frederick, New, Janmark, Philp, Kulak, Buchners, Dobson, Wallman, Stetcher, Emberson. Skinner and Pickard come back as the goalies, and you find 2 cheap options for your right-wing depth. Let's get nuts. That comes in from the Sailor. He then texts in a picture of his Puckpedia work. Smooth Sailor. As long as you can show your work, I mean, I don't mind it. It is silly season, and no theory or thought is wrong, really, unless it's not doable.
Right. In this town with this team, you always have to run everything through the McDavid Draisaitl filter. Right? Like, yeah, that works. Does it work for those 2 guys? Because I like it or hate it, this is an organization that takes those 2 guys' opinions into account when it comes to player personnel. So
I'm thinking the draft tonight, like, is the war room set up at McDavid's place? Like, that's where Bowman in the summit, like, they just say, okay, this is, he's there in the room. I mean, it should be, as you mentioned, it runs through them.
I would assume that someone like a Jeff Jackson has already ran through the plan. That would be my guess.
Yes.
And I know that pisses off, especially some old school fans who wants the players to be the employees and the employers to make the decisions, and wants the delineations to be solid walls.
Yeah. No tail wagging the dog here, right?
And you know what? In most situations, I think I'd probably fall into that category, except we're talking about potentially best we've ever seen.
And I think most old school fans in this market, I think they've come around to that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's too many that'd be like, oh, he should be piping down and sitting on the bench.
Right.
Like, no.
Yeah. Like, if your dream is to see those players start and end their careers as Edmonton Oilers, then at some point you do that by getting them to buy in to the idea that they're part of the decision-making process. And that way, when failure does occur, they also know that they're in part to blame for that failure. Right? Like, that's why you do that, is so that in the offseason, they're not looking around going, well, these guys really screwed me over. They're looking around going, I maybe screwed us over a little bit. Like, it makes them invest in the franchise.
You're part of the process.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, there's a reason LeBron James is still in LA. And it's not because of their competitiveness. It's because he knows he's got say. That organization does, in large part, what he asks them to do. If you're a Lakers fan, might not be your favorite thing, because I don't know how good he's been at spotting talent or figuring out how to win. They do have a championship, an asterisk championship, but a championship nonetheless. So this is the new climate that we're in multi-billionaire athletes. you get to give away some of the decision making to them as well.
Yeah, it's a new day now, and that's just it's much like the media and how you digest all the news and everything.
So I'm not saying
on its head.
I'm not saying that anyone's ideas are right or wrong or that's crazy or that's going to work. I'm just saying it's just that next filter you kind of got to run everything through.
Yeah, Bones and Ross are already shitting on the Sailors theory. We don't even have draft picks to have offer sheets. It's well, maybe they go out and acquire draft picks.
Sure,
Maybe
they have to get their own back though.
Anything can happen.
Yeah,
because we don't know that it's happened yet.
where have I heard that wise phrase before?
I want to get this here from Aaron. I heard some chatter on X about a possible Darnell Nurse trade incoming. Do you think there's any validity to that? Look, the whole Instagram thing or whatever, he deleted his bio.
Right.
It's been like that. You're not even on Instagram anymore. You popped off in the group chat saying, everybody, check Instagram.
Yeah,
You're not on there.
I know. I was at the gym last night, and all of a sudden I'm getting texts like from my buddies back home.
Your phone's blowing up.
Yeah, it was blowing up. It was crazy, and I was just like, "What the heck is this all about?" And then people are saying, "Oh, Darnell Nurse, he took out Edmonton Oilers in his bio on Instagram." I'm like, "What?"
Okay.
I'm like, "I don't know. I've heard that before, and usually that a little bit of foreshadowing there." So I asked the group chat, if "There's any validity to this?" I guess. Nothing. And then it was like
It was out.
It was
It's
like
been-
20 minutes later that people were like, "No, it's been like this since 2018."
Yeah.
So I know it got my hopes up too, everyone. It got my hopes up too. Okay?
Since before he signed his
I'm
big
guilty
deal.
of it. Yeah, it's been like that. So
All right.
So this is where we're at. But again, we don't know because it hasn't happened. So you can't say it's not because it hasn't happened yet.
Right.
Yeah.
not 100%.
Not 100%.
No,
not
not.
100%. God, this is.
I love the off season.
We're going to off season.
What off season?
Yeah. Instagram bios. Give me a break.
Yeah. Well.
But who knows, LT?
You're right. He makes a good point.
Where have I heard this point before?
I mean, it could be. Maybe he scrubbed his bio years ago, knowing that today would be. Yeah,
Well-
so maybe they are connected. Huh? Just to go over the show today, a great one. It's Friday. Let loose a bit. Let the hair down. 780-218-9999 or in the nasty chat. If you have any musical requests, I'd like to try and find them and do my best to play them. The crack pack coming up for Wayne's Sports Cards. Popped into Wayne's yesterday. Grabbed this blaster box. 24-25 extended series. So we'll be cracking a whole blaster box, boys. We can all get a couple packs in.
We're blasting or
Just
we're
calm down there.
okay.
That's good. It's not till the third hour.
That's good.
Chris Johnston, CJ, as mentioned from TSN, he'll be by doing draft stuff and commenting and sharing his thoughts on silly season. If you have any questions for CJ, you'd like us to run over or go over any hot rumors, please let us know. Play Alberta Early Bird Special from Dusty. He'll be I don't know. Unconfirmed reports. Chris in the nasty chat said Huss was feeding him oysters and Dusty was feeding Huss chicken fingers, and they had their arms wrapped around each other like some sort of a French type of.
Yeah, those two woke up underneath the same Afghan on a couch this morning.
Head to toe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Got
to be careful. Head to toe.
Stop hogging. Cold.
Couple big gulp.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Gulp containers. Marshall Ferguson, CFL and TSN. Want to get his thoughts on last night's game, set up the rest of the slate for Week 4 in the Canadian Football League. Plus, it is race weekend as my favorite stretch of the Formula 1 calendar gets underway. It is the Austrian Grand Prix from the Red Bull Ring, and we'll get Marshall's thoughts on that. I do believe practice is on this morning. So thanks for Marshall joining us there during a busy time in his life. I don't know what call he has this weekend. Maybe he's not on a call this week, but we'll find out there at 7:40. Kind of easy trivia. 3 questions too many returns to its original time slot. Somebody was asking, I think, online last night if you're going to be doing ECW branded questions, to which the wrestling bit was all thanks to Bruce Boudreau. So you'll probably go back to real sports today.
Bruce is not. Bruce is not on again.
No.
Okay. So we will
all
go back
IndyCar, right?
all open wheel racing questions. Yes.
That's at 8 o'clock. Your chance to grab some Mr.
Bone
Mike's
up on your
GCs.
Al Unser Jr. trivia.
Al Unser Jr. Give me a Christian Fittipaldi.
Yeah, there you go.
8:20 for the Italian Center.
That's good.
We got some paninos this morning, so mild or hot. We can heat them up or eat them cold.
That's good.
So it'll be a 10-minute segment of Will just doing that on repeat.
I actually had a charcuterie platter from the Italian Center.
And how
last
was it?
night?
Would you say it's...
That was good. Yeah, it really was. It was incredible.
No, yeah, it can't be beat. So that's going down around 8:20. Of course, Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. And we will be joined virtually this morning later at 8:30 by Adam from Snake Lake. Ready-to-drink line of lemonades featuring the limited edition raspberry. So it looks like... And
Thank you for pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah? You like the P?
Yeah. Yeah. Most people just say
That's good.
raspberry. That's clearly not what it is.
Yeah, it's not Raz.
It's rasp.
ZZ. Yeah, rasp. Yeah. So we've got some samples of it. I think it's more than just lemonade and Raz. I think I saw some beer there. I don't know. Did you snoop around in there?
More than what I was
There's more than
expecting.
one.
Yeah.
So
So I can't wait.
and also that means it's your chance at $50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor at 8:30, and all ahead of the wrap for William Huff. So pretty good show. Not as busy and businesslike as yesterday, but that's good. A little more time to breathe. And once again, if you do have any requests, 780-218-9999 or in the nasty chat, we'll do our best to play them. I know there's a few a little bit of Elks chatter in the nasty chat, and of course Nurse. Rip City Step says anything is possible. That's just it. I think that's the motto for today. Anything is possible. Nothing is off the table. Sailor's defending himself in the nasty chat, given his big Puckpedia roster construction there earlier. Terry M says we need more liquor. So there you go there. Why would he waive for this Penguins, right? Tubi Gang says, who's waiving for the Penguins? Is that in regards to
is that
to
the
Sailor
Darnell
again?
Nurse rumor? Or what?
Yeah, sure. Anything's possible. Coach Mike says, seriously, Stauffer speaks and the Oilers fan base spontaneously combusts. Yeah, no, that's true. It's not false there, but that's... You gotta know he likes doing it, and we love getting.
Absolutely,
we love spontaneously combusting, man.
What is that a description or a criticism? I don't get it. Like,
it's a description. It shouldn't be a criticism.
That's just the way that it goes, man.
That's the way that it goes. You should be thankful that we're in a market with a guy like that can kind of shepherd the opinion. And when some markets have no stock, and you wait for a press release.
Trust me, man. When you're in Vegas and the ringman snaps the whip, the tiger jumps through the flaming hoop. Like it's the show. That's what we're here for.
RCN retweeting Billy Steff, retired hockey insider, new to Twitter, editor-in-chief, Hockey on the Block for 15 years, been around the game for 45 plus.
Okay.
Baseball connected, he says. That's in his bio. He tweets, sources say Oilers and Penguins have agreed in principle to a trade centered around Darnell Nurse and goaltender Tristan Jarry. Lots of moving pieces here, but looks like a fresh start for all parties involved. Billy Steff.
What?
We are not officially calling this or reporting this.
That sounds awful.
You know, I know people's thoughts generally on Darnell Nurse in this market, but
that sounds awful.
Yeah, so that's where that text comes in. Why would he?
That's crazy.
Why would he waive?
I love it. Now that's some crazy talk. I love that.
Why would Nurse waive for the Penguins? I understand Tubi Gang.
Why would you make that trade?
Why would anybody?
Why would anyone make that trade?
Let's get to a sports update.
I'm pretty sure you could have Tristan Jarry on waivers. Like
YouTube Trev, watch for the blue checks. Not that they mean anything anymore on Twitter, but I don't know. This is going to be
fantastic.
This is fascinating.
Watch your top knot today. That's what I'll say.
I like how crazy dumb that is.
You want to get nuts?
Yeah.
Let's have more.
Yes.
Send them in. 780-218-9999.
That's
Where's he?
good.
This is crazy. Sports update here from YouTube. Trev, on the way, more talk about the silly season in the crack pack for Wayne's Cards. All in hour one, it's the Nielsen Show, Edmonton Sports Talk. presented by Play Alberta.
The Winnipeg Blue Bombers remain undefeated on the season, while the Edmonton Elks remain winless following a 36-23 loss last night. The Elks are now 0-3 and have now lost 13 straight games against the Bombers. Elks won't hit the field again until July 6, when they welcome in the Red Blacks. CFL Week 4 continues tonight as the 3-0 Owls hit the road to take on the 0-2 Ticats. This one getting underway at 5:30. And in the majors, the Toronto Blue Jays capped off their 3-game series, shutting out the Cleveland Guardians 6-0. They take this series 2-1. The Jays continue their road trip later today in Boston to take on the Red Sox. First pitch going at 5:30. The NHL draft is set to take place later tonight, albeit decentralized. Touted prospect Matthew Schaefer is projected to go first overall. The Edmonton Oilers have 4 picks in this year's draft, the first one coming in round 4 at 83. Closer to home, the Edmonton Riverhawks and Victoria Harbour Cats game was suspended yesterday due to rain. The Riverhawks are back in action later today when they open up a 3-game series in Nanaimo to take on the Night Owls, which you can listen to at 7:45 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. As for the Energy City Cactus Rats, they take the win over the Swift Current 57s. 9-8 is the score. Those two face off once again later today. First pitch is at 3:05. And day 2 of the Rocket Classic is underway, where Aldrich Potgieter is atop of the leaderboard. He is 1 under through 5. And Canadian Adam Hadwin is tied for 32nd. He has yet to tee off today, but he is 5 under through day 1. I'm YouTube Trev. You're up to date.
Happy Friday morning here on the Nielson Show. Wil Fraser in for Dustin Nielsen. Lieutenant Eric, YouTube Trev, you heard and saw in the sports update. If you are listening.
So handsome.
Wow.
Just
so smooth.
He honestly scared me when I walked in this morning.
You're like, Cody Fajardo, what are you doing here?
Just like, holy cow.
Yeah. Holy cow.
I see it now. I do see it.
Who?
Fajardo.
Yeah.
You look exactly like him.
Yeah, I do
I'm
see
not.
him.
That's not. He's a good-looking guy
handsome.
too. Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
take
yeah.
it. Yeah,
dude.
Why not?
But it's just the shape. Like, some
Big
people have
shoulders
that.
too.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Big shoulders, big
Yeah.
buys
Tight
and
ass.
tries.
Don't take this the wrong way, but
Big bum.
what are you doing here?
Totally.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I
that
don't know.
attractive should, be way more successful at this point.
Oh, jeez. Oh, you make me feel good, man. You're
Really?
my hype
'Cause
man.
that was kind of an insult. So I'm glad you took it as a compliment.
Oh, okay. No. That's
It is
exactly
a bit of a
what I want to
roundabout.
hear, baby.
Yeah, roundabout way. If you are watching on the YouTube this morning, hit that thumbs up. I haven't yet. There we go. Boom. Let's change 100 here before the hour is out. And subscribe to the channel as well, and you'll be all up to date on everything going on. Edmonton Sports Talk. Cam says, can we please get back to the Elks talk? They actually looked better last night. I would agree, Cam. If there's anything specific from the game you'd like to discuss, please let us know. 780-218-9999.
Yeah, if it's the end of the school year, so this is actually a really good comparable. It's the end of the school year.
Mm-hmm.
Kids are done for the year.
Yes.
Report cards are coming out.
Yes.
If you can't get A's, you want to see that the kid is making progress.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
And so this report card after last night's game shows a more consistently competitive football team. Is
Yes.
that fair? Would that be the glass half full way to take away what is yet another loss to start the year? Is that this is a team that walked into Winnipeg against a Bombers squad that is firing on all cylinders and just has been for a decade. And as you mentioned, went into the fourth with the game in the balance, which
Not too many people.
That's improvement.
We were talking, and I know the spread last night. I mean, ultimately, Winnipeg got there. But yes, going into the fourth tie game, and it was the same in BC at the half. I think Trey Ford again. There's mechanics that can be fixed, but you're also seeing spurts where you're like, okay, I can see what this might lead to. The defense at times, maybe I think JC Sherritt's defense still early days with that program, so we'll see that kind of grow and evolve. But again, I think you have to also look at the opposition and credit where credit's due. Zach Collaros has looked great. 334, 3 touchdowns.
Not just the team, but the location. It's Winnipeg, man.
But also we had Nick Anderson on the show earlier in the week. It's funny, and the Riders had this too when they were playing later days at Taylor Field, and you get packed houses. Teams get up, especially in a league like this where some markets don't have that pop. And right now in Edmonton, it certainly doesn't have that pop.
That's right.
But you go into that Hornets nest, you get a little more jacked up, and especially as the opposition. So as a home team, sometimes it doesn't really play in your favor, so to speak, because this will be a Super Bowl or Grey Cup for each and every one of those teams coming in to play you. So I think, to echo Cam's text, they did look better, but just win, baby. And I think it's not so much. McLeod Bethel Thompson had a lot of good stats games last year.
Yeah.
They didn't win. And it's not his fault that they lost a bunch of walk-off last-second field goal games, but they didn't win.
Yeah.
And he's the quarterback. So I don't know if Cody Fajardo is going to take you there and get you those dubs right now. Some people might think he will, and some people would say, you have to. Trey Ford's not going to get any better by sitting on the bench.
Football is one of the few sports out there that the home crowd can make the difference in late football games, in tight situations.
Yes, yeah.
Right? We've seen it in this town. You've seen it everywhere where when it's late in a game, defenses have figured each other out. Offenses have figured each other out. Mm-hmm. And it comes down to the adjustments you make at the line of scrimmage. If that crowd gets too loud and all of a sudden your cadence isn't being heard, especially in the CFL where guys are 8 miles away from you, especially on the corners.
Oh, yeah.
Where you can't make the adjustment at the line that you were making earlier in the game or in quieter buildings. Yeah, home field advantage is a very real thing and has a very real impact on wins and losses.
Yeah, and with a team and a quarterback and where you're not kind of used to these scenarios and all of that, it can be. But yes, I think it's better. They move on. Must win next Sunday at home to the Red Blacks.
Sure.
Not to say that they all are.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. A must win is,
I know, but you have to
Game 4 is never a must win.
No, but if you're looking around and they're 0-4 in the month of June for the past, I don't know how many, so it'd be early July. I just think that you got to kind of, if not then, when, and taking a look, I mean, pulling up their schedule here. Because again, it's a tight league with not many teams. So you're looking around, you're like, well, we don't get a soft spot for 3 weeks where we play,
I mean, the Elks must wins last year. We're still in September, right?
Oh no, you can hang around and still be in the mix, I guess, if you want. But
so
you're hosting the Lions after that. You're visiting the Rough Riders after that near the end of July, where Trey Ford has had success in Regina.
What you don't want to do is have must wins be against the Bombers late in the year.
Yeah,
right.
No, sure.
Like you want to take care of business against the teams that you should be able to beat in the points in the year that you should be able to come up with those wins. Then wait until later in the season when the juggernauts who have already established themselves are going to determine whether or not you do or don't make the postseason.
Winning within that division early is so much more important, though, too, when you're looking at, tiebreakers and season series. So a loss to the Lions, loss to the Bombers. But yes, the month of July, Red Blacks next Sunday at home, Lions the week after that at home. They'll travel to Saskatchewan July 25, and those are the 3 games of the month of July. So let us know how you think they'll do in those 3. Ottawa at home, BC at home, and a trip to Regina for your Edmonton Elks, looking to get in the win column. How about those Blue Jays? Speaking of win column, back in it yesterday. Yeah. Quickly, we'll touch on that. I know you're bullish on the wild card. I mean, they again, we are just getting into July.
Yeah,
but if you're in and around that spot, you're going to talk about it early. It doesn't matter.
The reason why games are important right now in Major League Baseball is because of the trade deadline, right? But before you know it, you have your All-Star break, which just kind of eats up a lot of the momentum that you may or may not have. And then coming out of that trade deadline, you've basically got, a 3-week, or the All-Star break, you've basically got a 3-week window there to determine, are we buyers, are we sellers? Do we feel like we can make a run in August to put ourselves in a position to challenge for a playoff spot? And so, actually, these are really important games in determining how the rest of your season's going to go.
Yes, and you look back, you miss a wild card by a half a game or a game, you go, oh, what about that one in June? So, I get, but sometimes people don't like the crowing of like, oh, yeah, wild card. Well, lots of things can change. But taking 2 of 3 from Cleveland, huge series beginning today in Boston where they can distance themselves more from the Red Sox as well.
They can really establish that top 3.
Yeah, and when you get that comfortability in that division there, then you kind of know where you're.
Absolutely.
Then you can look at the wild card and say, okay, where are we going to be positioned and where you can do that. But 3 games back of the division leading Yankees right now, and they are 2.5 back of the Rays.
Like the other thing that you want to do is kind of cave in the heads of the guys that don't have a chance, so that if there's anything that you can scrape loose late in July in a trade, those teams are willing to make that deal. So Boston's a perfect example of that. Yeah. Boston's kind of losing their mind right now.
They're 4 games back in the Jays.
And you want to keep
today,
making the Red Sox lose their mind.
Yeah, losers
so that
of 5
if there's
straight.
somebody in their bullpen that you have an eye on, if there's a depth outfielder that you have an eye on, that they're more willing to just basically give them to you.
Twist the knife.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barry says, I love this time of year. Everything is happening till nothing happens.
Everything's happening.
I said, you just might win text of the day with that one. That's a brilliant, brilliant text.
Yeah.
And of course, $20 to A&W on the line for text of the day today. Let's get cracking here. I don't have the you don't have the crack pack theme, do you, Trev? No.
Oh, I wish, man.
How are those allergies, by the way? Did you
great
meet the guy in the parking lot with that?
No, I didn't meet
under
anyone.
the table Robitussin here.
Nope. No, allergies are great. As I'm holding in a sneeze at the moment, but
say they're great?
Are you starting to drain?
Oh yeah, it's draining.
Do you think it was the facial hair?
Maybe that could have. I feel like that had a lot to do with
holding on to some pollen.
Actually, you know what? Yeah. That actually isn't a bad idea. Yeah, maybe there's something to that.
Maybe it was the facial hair.
Oh, yes. All right. I caught it.
Wayne's Sports Cards, more than just cards as well. Collectibles, Legos, all that sort of stuff. 24-25 Extended Series is what we're cracking today. So go check out Wayne's here on the west end of town, right across from the mall. Let's get cracking, boys. I think it's, what are we, Will Smith hunting or... Right, what do we got here? These are nice cards.
Oh, Upper Deck does it right.
It's
old Upper Deckies.
Cadillacs here. Oh, JJ Paterka.
Oh, whoa, look at you.
The newest Utah Mammoth.
Yeah, that is a collector's item in his Sabres garb.
In the Sabres garb. You got it. Brandon DeHame, Tyler Toffoli, Willie Nylander, Nikolai Ehlers.
Guy who will be talked about over the next little while, Charlie McAvoy.
Oh. Nazem Kadri.
Yeah.
Oh, young guns.
When I was a young guy collecting hockey cards.
Yes.
And I'd see that red jersey. And I'd see a Y.
Straight to the bike. Oh, Y, yeah.
And I'd see a Y and I'd think.
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah. I got him. I Got a Stevie Y.
No, you got
I got a Paul
Yzerbaert.
That's tough.
I feel like Blake Lizotte.
Paul Yzerbaert.
I feel like Blake Lizotte is
Well, look at this,
the
boys.
comparable.
A
of that.
UD canvas of Jeremy Swayman. In behind that, Sabres goalie Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Oh, wow.
Both. You want to talk silly season?
You know what's funny about that?
They could both be collector's items.
Should have been an Oiler, Jacob Markstrom.
Oh,
Right behind that, Thatcher Demko.
See,
oh God!
And I've
a
got
Georgiev.
and I've got the goaltender that right now is just in it to collect new jerseys.
Yes.
Cam Talbot.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody had a Talbot
Yes.
text flying in today. Bring him back. We could
more
resurrect the Mr. Talbotto song. Remember that?
I've got a
Kulikov?
classic Philip Forsberg.
That's nice.
Wow,
Oh,
terrible jersey.
man.
You don't like those Ulster jerseys, eh?
No.
A little cartoony.
This one's sweet.
Oh, I've got a rookie reflections, Matt Rempe. That'll hold up.
The
well.
Rempe Tower.
That'll hold up well.
I got
Might want to reflect on making
Dazzler's
that one.
Adam Fox. Pretty
Okay,
cool.
those Dazzler cards are
Wow.
nice.
These Penguins cards I keep getting, as I mentioned, just Paul Yzerbaerts everywhere. Owen Pickering. Cool.
I like how these are kind of tarot for what the day might hold. Like, I'm sensing a
Mighty Duck. Cutter Gauthier.
okay. When you said duck,
Oilers
I thought he
color.
was going
Yeah.
And look at this. I'll take
Johnny G.
The controversial.
Is that Shilov's?
a
Cutter
second
Gauthier.
Demko card.
A second Demko. You know what that means?
Beehive.
I wish
Well,
Dustin
if you
was.
pull two cards, then the Oilers will be going out and acquiring them, I think.
I
might
wish
have to
Dustin was here because he's the only one who would care about a Christian Dvorak.
Oh, save
card.
that for him. Put it
Yeah.
aside. Yeah.
Might
yeah.
have to tweet about that. Anze Kopitar Oracles. That's pretty sick.
You're getting a lot of subsets in that.
Thank you.
I just feel like the meme
Dougie Hamilton.
of Home Alone, where it's like Biff. What was the brother's name?
Like the Boley brother.
Your girlfriend. Woof. Right. Like that's what I'm
Bart.
feeling like.
Brent. It starts with a B.
Well,
Somebody will have it.
Brett Leeson. Woof.
Woof.
Jeez
Yeah. Well,
Louise.
is it a young gun? Usually the young guns are.
Oh, and Eric Carlson. You know what? I'll be happy
You'll-
with Eric
Yeah.
Carlson.
Ooh, does that mean the Oilers might?
Ugh.
There's a lot
He
of
had
telling.
he had his chance.
He's a Penguin.
A Quinn Hughes All-Star jersey.
He had his chance.
maybe.
Yeah.
He could have made
coulda.
some moves.
Yeah.
And then nothing but nostril.
Buzz.
Old Austin.
Buzz. That's
Old
right.
Austin Matthews.
Oh, you got an Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Like
Slab it.
the Oilers are being investigated for salary cap infractions with Vander Kane. Somebody needs to investigate Austin Matthews. I think he had his nasal passages like physically altered so he could breathe deeper.
Deviated septum. Like
No,
he does it on purpose.
He over deviated it. That's just the airflow he gets through that thing.
Decentralized septum.
There's a reason this guy's VO2 max is through the roof, guaranteed. Like
He sets numbers we haven't
yeah,
seen.
exactly. This guy is he's an ultra marathoner as far as his ability to oxygenate his blood. Cool. I'm such an Austin Matthews fan.
Unsigned
Seriously,
text.
I'm up for trades, guys.
Well,
Need him, got him, want him. Like,
somebody wants your Pickering. They say if Pickering was in the nurse deal, I'd highly considered. He'll be a stud. Owen Pickering. Here it is. And it's one of those cards too. Oh, and it's a round one draft. So it's like a draft card, but he's in the with the jersey. He's not playing. It's not an action. Where's the camera there? Kind of.
it's no offense to you, and you might be completely right in thinking that he's going to be a stud, but I am traumatized from the years of Marty Reisner in this town, where it was like every young guy that didn't quite make it with another organization who was brought in on trade, that guy's going to be a stud. Usually they're a stud by now.
There's an old saying that Kenny Holland said with bananas and the ripeness of them. How you?
Which was Kenny Holland's doctor said, don't buy any green bananas. Was that how it worked?
Something along those lines. Troll says,
Well, Doc, what do you think? How'd the checkup go? Well, I wouldn't buy any green bananas.
Troll says Matthews' hairline is retracting as well for increased speed.
Right.
Yeah.
Good point.
So that's another body mod that he's.
Yeah.
You like the dangly earring look as well that he's got going? I don't mind that. I'm thinking of getting my ears re-pierced.
He uses
or just
that to
one
distract.
It's
Like some guys tape their sticks different in hopes that it'll throw goaltenders off. He's just got
catches the eye.
He's got bling.
Yeah. I don't mind the dangly earring look.
Yeah.
Very Barry Bonds-ish. 780-218-9999.
And the wrists of a deer.
We are coming to you as well live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio. If you're looking to feed yourself during this silly season, swing by a Popeyes today and get one of those snack wraps or a couple. You'll be forgiven if you have a couple. I'm sure Reed Wilkins is waiting eagerly outside the doors for
is it
Popeyes
can
to
you
open.
do body modifications, or would that be something that would?
What do you mean? Can you do them? They're legal.
No. Are they legal within sport?
I wouldn't see
if
why not.
I showed up,
if he shaves his teeth down to a point, or gets his tongue split.
No, but for what are the IOC rules on body mod?
Yeah, if you permanently dye your eyes,
Yeah,
like red or something,
is that legal?
because that would be it'd be an intimidation, I guess, to a point.
Like an Olympic swimmer, he can't have gills installed, can he?
That's imagine Matthews in the pool,
Right. Yeah.
Phelps, eat your heart out, eh?
Yeah.
Like that,
yeah. Only in the backstroke though, but like having that snorkel. sitting up,
yeah.
It's just
Buzz is the brother. Buzz, your girlfriend.
Woof.
Yeah.
Buzz, thank you. I was stuck on Biff. I knew it wasn't Biff.
A B. Bart, Brent.
Yeah.
Beck.
My youngest nephew, when he was young, dead ringer for Fuller. The Fuller, go
Plastic
easy on the
sheets.
soda.
Yeah. You'll be sleeping with me.
Yeah.
780-218-9999. Chris Johnston is on the way after the top of the hour. We'll be getting to a sports update here soon from
A
YouTube.
young
Trev.
Kieran Culkin, by the way.
Kieran Culkin. Yeah.
Fuller was.
It's funny how. Yeah, it's funny how one was so big then, and now the other is kind of taken the
Kieran
other.
Culkin.
And Macaulay's kind of fell off. There, right?
Interesting. A guy who has made a career out of stealing every scene he's in. Interesting enough, the first scene he was ever in on film, stole it.
Yeah.
The eye move that he made just drinking soda, like you'll remember it the rest of your life. Fuller, go easy on the soda.
We won't be going easy on the soda February 22nd to March 1st.
You won't.
No, that's our Mexico trip. You boys like Mexico. Well, you should put that hat. Can you put that hat on? Is that something you'd like to maybe do? Would you want to do that for me?
This is not a sombrero. Like what?
It's a gardening hat.
It's a gardening hat.
Oh, this is a treat. I like this. Clip it. Yeah. Surveyor Brett, you want to screenshot that? Memeable for sure. This is nice. Yeah, you got a nice. Yeah, you've got the brim all done. Yeah, you can tighten that up. Yeah, you look like the guy leading the Rocket Classic on the PGA Tour this morning.
Day out there.
Yeah. Real tight. Yeah. So you can't talk. You kind of. February 22 to March 1st. Contact Chelsea, Expedia Cruises. You can come to Mexico with us. Planet Hollywood, Cancun, $24.90 for direct flight transfers, one checked bag, food and booze. It's the all-inclusive. That puppy's 50% and over right now in terms of sales. So you want to get in. Don't wait. Contact Chelsea today. Expedia Cruises, 780-970-4834. That number again, 780-970-4834. Come to Mexico. It's going to be a grand time. I know you haven't yet, but I don't want to say what you look like.
This is the look of every guy who should have stayed in school.
You're at a Home Depot parking lot waiting for me to pull up with a truck. And
when this guy applies on a job, you don't have to ask about the criminal record. It is vast. Right.
Well, the job I'm offering you requires the criminal record.
Exactly.
Probably. I would hope that it's fast. This is.
Yeah. You don't ask him if he can haul shingles. You ask him how many he can haul.
I'm not going to ask you to keep that on through the show, but if you wanted to, I wouldn't object. That's tight.
How about I do this look?
because the brim underneath has got a floral print, so that you can see it. Yeah, it's
Very
good.
pretty.
That's after
it.
a few brewskis usually.
Oh yeah,
You have that look.
The morning beers.
Yeah.
It's the only way I got to sight, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I ain't showing up sober.
brown bag and a couple Coronas, eh?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You guys got any waters? Nope.
Nope.
No. Oh, aren't you thirsty? Yep.
What do they call that? Swamp water, the tequila and lime.
Ranch water.
Ranch water.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's right.
Chris Johnston on the way for TSN. If you have any questions for him, any rumors you want addressed or sliced down, 780-218-9999 or in the
This
nasty
would
chat.
go over well as a good look at the Pinoca Stampede this weekend, wouldn't it?
Man, Mark Chestnut played last night. $40. I really wanted to go,
Dude,
but I couldn't.
There is honestly, all kidding aside, there is not a better bang for your buck party in this province than Pinoca Stampede.
I'd just go for Mark Chestnut. I wouldn't need to go for the Stampede or the whatever, the candy floss.
First of all, their Stampede grounds are absolute gem. Like, they are fantastic. And like affordable. There's camping on, like, honestly, it is straight up one of the best parts, especially if you're someone who's like, I love the Calgary Stampede. Like, if you're one of those idiots, like, ditch it. Like, go to the Pinoca Stampede.
Well, I don't think those idiots would be. I mean, those idiots are made for that. You know, like there's a smarmy type that,
like, if you want to get a jump on your STDs before the Calgary Stampede, like if you want to come preloaded,
yeah,
you don't want to just catch them there.
no,
Stop in at the Pinoca Stampede before.
don't be a receiver, be a giver.
Exactly. Yeah. Be patient zero. You
Be
don't-
somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We'll get to a sports update here. On the way, a couple of guests once again in hour two. Chris Johnston, TSN, and Marshall Ferguson, CFL on TSN. Also some Austrian GP talk as well with him. And a Dusty Play Alberta Early Bird special. We'll get to that at around 7:20. Want to let you know as well for the month of June, which is almost coming to an end. Oh, you took the hat off here. EST Casino, that's the code word up at Play Alberta right now. You get a $20 deposit for a $50 casino code. That runs till the end of this month. And EST Sports, $20 deposit for a $50 free bet as well for the month of June. So download the app, playalberta.ca. Get up there. We'll have an early bird from Dusty coming in hot and heavy midway through hour number 2. YouTube Trev's got a sports update right now, once again, for Expedia Cruises. More information on that Mexico trip as well, and the number to call. Wil Fraser in for Dustin Nielson this morning, and Lieutenant Eric here. Hour 2 of the Nielson Show coming up next, presented by Southport Chevrolet, here on Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta.
The Winnipeg Blue Bombers remain undefeated on the season, while the Edmonton Elks remain winless following a 36-23 loss last night. The Elks are now 0-3 and have now lost their 13 straight against the Bombers. Elks won't hit the field again until July 6th, when they welcome in the Ottawa Red Blacks. CFL Week 4 continues tonight as the 3-0 Owls hit the road to take on the 0-2 Ticats. This one getting underway at 5:30. And in the majors, the Toronto Blue Jays capped off their 3-game series, shutting out the Cleveland Guardians 6-0. They take the series 2-1. The Jays continue their road trip later today in Boston to take on the Red Sox. First pitch going at 5:30. The NHL draft is set to take place later tonight, albeit decentralized. Touted prospect Matthew Schaefer is projected to go first overall. The Oilers have 4 picks in this year's draft, the first one coming in round 3 at 83 overall. Closer to home, the Edmonton Riverhawks and Victoria Harbour Cats game was suspended yesterday due to the rain. The Riverhawks are back in action later today when they open up a 3-game series in Nanaimo to take on the Night Owls, which you can listen to at 7:45 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. And as for the Energy City Cactus Rats, they take the win over the Swift Current 57s. 9-8 is the score. Those two face off once again later today. First pitch is at 3:05. And day 2 of the Rocket Classic is underway, where Aldrich Potgieter is atop of the leaderboard. He is 1 under through 8. And Canadian Adam Hadwin, tied for 36, has yet to tee off. He is 5 under through day 1. Whether you're dreaming of crystal clear waters or exotic destinations, contact Chelsea LaBelle at Expedia Cruises in Northeast Edmonton to start planning your next cruise or vacation destination. Call 780-970-4834. I'm YouTube Trev. You're up to date.
I mean, there's not many hits that kind of grow and grow and grow like that.
Trev, how old were you when that perfect little moment in time happened?
Dallas Eakins era. That was what, 2013, I believe?
Something like that.
Yeah, it would have been
right.
14, 15.
Oh, yeah. So how were you taking it?
I remember,
You were a true believer then, I bet.
It was a 12. Yeah, I mean,
you were like,
for
this
sure.
is going to work out.
I remember I deleted the NHL app because they had a 12-game losing streak. They won one, and then I think they had another 12-game losing streak, and then
Swarm!
Yeah.
It was tough, man. Like, what am I doing? I was like, why do I cheer for this team? Deleted the app. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, like especially a kid outside of town. Like
Yeah.
you were way down south, southern Alberta. Like you
Flames were
couldn't
kinda
even
doing okay.
enjoy the absurdity of it.
No.
Because I'll tell you, as guys who were there on the ground floor, it was not awful. It was the exact opposite of awful. It was the most interesting, entertaining time in the world.
The Dallas Eakins era?
Yeah, it was.
Well,
Every
I'm happy
day,
you saw it that way.
every day brought a new gem.
It was gold, baby.
It was
gold.
Yeah, it was
the
just
the Yakupov
it was
Sunday
so
days. Remember that?
big.
in
I
Nashville?
remember those. It
Holy
was
hell.
just. It was so bizarre, and like the cruelty of a Dave Jamieson. Like you think that that's a really nice guy. You think, oh man, there's no greater humanitarian than a Dave Jamieson. All true.
Yeah.
But there's a dark heart there, and it came out in the Yoder days.
did.
The only thing I
in the
remember,
Dallas Eakins/Aikens fiasco in
That-
this town.
I kind of laughed at, and I feel bad for her now because it is kind of sad. But when he was like, I dropped my kid off to school the other day, and one of her classmates yelled at me, "You suck." Like that's, it's tough.
And now you look back on it and you're like, that's it? I think you made out okay, dude.
I like the guy.
Like you like him?
I think he's, yeah.
Dude,
I
absolutely.
yeah.
Like,
Coaching aside, but I mean, it's the whole, I think he kind of gets it. He does now. We've had him
he
on.
absolutely
Like
gets it now. Yeah.
Maybe not then, but you could tell he could. Like he had it in him.
Yeah, like, his curse was that he was brought in to coach a team that the fan base believed in, and it was just a bunch of frauds. Like
How?
it was just from top to bottom fraudulent hockey players, and so he had to find a way to mold these young men into something, and they had no interest. Like that group of guys had no interest in playing competitive hockey. They were having too good of a time just being kings of this town.
Rob from the Grove says, chop water, carry wood.
Yeah.
Well, we've come a long way, baby.
I still remember when he broke when he solved hockey, telling us that there's a higher percentage chance of scoring off of rebounds than off of the first shot.
Okay. Well,
and presented it to us like this was new information.
all right.
Our analytics department broke it down, and there's actually a higher percentage chance of scoring off of rebounds than off of the first shot. And we're literally holding microphones going, like we're waiting for the punch, like we're waiting for him to include us into the clear joke that he's telling.
Mm.
And he was not. He was dead serious, letting us know that they had paid money to guys with calculators and computers to come back to him and tell him the numbers say. Now, don't let everyone know this, okay, Coach? We don't want this getting popular.
Are you done?
But the numbers say we're scoring more goals off of rebounds than off of first shots.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
keep it Keep it to
Shut up!
just the people in the row.
That's good is coming up at 8:20. You know what? We're gonna take that. We're gonna do favorite Dallas Aikens memories. 8:20. Get them down. Jot them down. I want you taking what you did here and bringing that to 8:20. We're gonna do a Dallas Aikens roundup. That's good. It's June 27th. Let's get to.
Don't spread it. Don't tell anyone else.
Chris Johnston, TSN. He's been waiting patiently enough in the green room. Maybe he's
already broken the news on the CBA. He's got nothing else.
Dallas Aikens memory he'd like to share with us. But Chris is brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialists. They've got hats, fits for any profile, flat brim, curved, snapback, filtered, golfer, low profile, and the dad caps in all leagues. You can check them out, St. Albert Trail, 128th Ave, or online at proamsports.ca. Chris, thanks again for taking the time to join us. I know it's a busy time. We're calling it silly season around here. I guess silly season 365 in the NHL world. But yeah, Will mentioned the CBA. I mean, you're broke. There's a draft tonight. There's obviously free agency to come. I guess where we had the Kane deal. Where do you want to kind of start? I'll let you take this thing where you please right now, because lots is going on, some of which we don't even know yet.
As we've been told.
Yeah. Is he muted?
Oh, wait, no.
No, sorry, Chris. Yeah, get that again. We got you now. Yeah, sorry about that.
I said, at the risk of opening a can of worms, who was the eyes comment about from Dallas Aikens?
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I didn't catch that.
Draisaitl said he is the coach's pet. He's always been the coach's pet. Like going back to the Aikens.
Yeah,
thing.
he just let it be known more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the time, baby.
I was enjoying story time. I mean, look, where do you want to go? We've got labor peace till 2030 in the NHL. We've got the first round of the draft tonight, which usually brings with it, obviously, the drafting of prospects, but lots of trades. And we're a few days away from free agency. I mean, what's on your mind this morning?
We have got people looking at players' Instagram accounts and discussing whether or not the bio's been changed, wherein that then leads in relation to a draft and certain players waiving no trade and no movement clauses. We do have some people here in this market that like to say things, albeit kind of heavily veiled, and then people take that and run with it. So, what are you hearing? It's reporter Chris and your ex handle. Big swing from the Oilers today, like a real big swing. Is that kind of what we can expect either prior to or during the draft?
Well, I actually don't know what you're referencing. I haven't heard of anything big with the Oilers.
I don't either. That's the thing.
I mean, look, it's a team, I think, that has a lot of motivation to get better, obviously, to find players, but the cap constraints are real. Getting rid of Evander Kane's deal helped in that regard. But, I would be surprised if there's a big swing, but I would love to be surprised. I think that the path forward for the Oilers is a little bit more trying to hit some singles and maybe a double at the end of the offseason, with the home run, I guess, being a McDavid extension eventually at some point in time here. But, I do think that they're, going to try to get a little younger and faster up front. There's got to address the goaltending, and then ultimately take care of that business internally with Evan Bouchard needing a new deal, and the aim to get McDavid signed. But I don't wake up this morning having heard anything or know that the Oilers are going to do something big. But if they do, I'm all for it.
Yeah, and I guess let's go back to the Kane deal the other day, and you mentioned, good on them for winning that and getting all that cap space, no money retained. Just your thoughts on that from both sides, I guess, of the coin. We talked to some people in Vancouver, obviously. The fan base there maybe not too happy with that acquisition. He'll be on a show me a bit, so we'll see what happens. But just, I guess, your overall thoughts on the Kane deal and him no longer being an Oiler and the Oilers getting the cap space.
Yeah, I think it was done amicably, right? That, Evander had some control with his partial no trade clause, but the Oilers got him back to a place he really wanted to play. I was a little surprised by the reaction in Vancouver, that essentially from the Canucks end of that trade, that they gave up, a middle draft pick for, a player that scores 20 to 25 goals every season. He's healthy, brings some snarl. I do know that there's, he comes with baggage, but, unless I missed something, I don't feel like at Edmonton that became an overriding issue. Really the biggest issue for Evander Kane is he took too many penalties in the Stanley Cup final, which is a window of time. And then obviously his health, derailed him a little bit the last couple of seasons. But, from Edmonton's standpoint, it was important to not have to retain any salary to, I think get that done quickly. It just doesn't hover over things. We all know they're going to try now to move Victor Arvidsson, but that's a little more complex because I don't think he's as attractive a player. He's got a no trade, no move clause. So he's got to be involved in that. But, I think being able to clear out that salary right away is good for the Oilers to be able to move forward into their off season. And, it's a tough trade market right now, but I think the Canucks probably will not be unhappy with that as time goes along. But for whatever reason, it was not a warm embrace of that trade. It didn't appear in Vancouver.
The JJ Peterka trade, the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. If you're the NHL, should alarm bells be going off at the lack of concern about that? Well, amongst the fan base, if that was a trade that happened in Edmonton or Toronto or Winnipeg or anywhere else, you would have a segment of your fan base that would be losing their mind that you gave up on a guy that has consistently improved over his 3 years in the NHL and didn't get anything of significant value back. And it seems like in Buffalo, that's a fan base and a media environment that has just accepted that they're the laughing stock and are going to make trades like this. Should they be more concerned about not just that they're trading away valuable assets, but that it doesn't seem like anyone cares?
Well, I do know, not speaking specific to the Peterka trade, but at the high levels of the NHL, there's concern about the Sabres. I mean, just because of how long that, what is frankly a great hockey city. I was there in the years when things were much better and was always a great place to go, a full building, a passionate fan base, a team that I think the city had a lot of pride in, if you're going back 20 years, but that's a lot of that has been eroded. And so it feels as though there's a certain degree of resignation is set in. The trouble the organization has just in the here and now is, JJ Peterka was a young player who didn't want to stay. They got Bo Byram was a restricted free agent this offseason as well. I think they're going to trade. I mean, for him, it's a little bit more related to the roster. You've got Owen Power and Rasmus Dahlin ahead of him as left shot defenseman. So the opportunity maybe isn't there for him, but, I think he's looking to go. And so, on top of the bad decisions that have been made over 10 or 15 years to get to where they are, seeing Sam Reinhart now with his second cup since leaving Buffalo, obviously Jack Eichel won a cup. You could do Ryan O'Reilly. I mean, depends how deep you want to go here, but a lot of players have found a lot of success outside of Buffalo and pretty soon after they left Buffalo, if not immediately. That is a concern. And if we're talking about Utah being on the upswing next year and maybe Peterka playing on their top line and having all this chemistry with Clayton Keller, would that surprise anyone? I don't think it would.
No.
He had 70 points in less than ideal conditions, this year in Buffalo. So, it is an issue. I don't know the solution. I really don't have a feel for what the best way for them to stem the tide would be. But yeah, I think there is concern because it's not good business to have any team miss the playoffs for 14 straight years, especially one in what has otherwise been a provably good hockey market.
TSN's Chris Johnston with us ahead of the draft tonight. Islanders on the clock. Chris, Dobson's name being floated around there as well. Do you expect the Islanders to do anything in that regard, or do you see the top end, I guess, at least of the draft opening round, just to kind of go as elementary and as most people kind of predict?
It's hard to know what's going to happen. I mean, the decentralized part of this draft, like the average fan sitting at home probably doesn't care, but I do think there is a reality of, will there be trades during the draft? Or is it, in the old days, quite honestly, included last June at the Sphere in Vegas, GMs walked across the floor and had a face-to-face conversation and completed trades. And kind of that was, for me anyway, part of the fireworks of the draft. I don't know if we'll still have that feel tonight. So I think I'm going into tonight. It's a little bit of an unknown. The other weird thing you have is you've got 5 or 6 teams with multiple first-round picks. If not 3 picks in the first round. I mean, there's sort of a more concentrated pick value there. And so certainly some of those teams with multiple picks, I know would like to move them. And obviously then the teams that don't have a first round pick, there might be opportunities here for them to get into the first round. So, this is a bit of a different offseason. It's certainly a new draft concept for the NHL. It might be a one and done. And so I don't really know how it's going to go. It seems like certainly when it comes to the players, there's already debate. I mean, Matthew Schaefer, number one, seems like a no-brainer. But then after that, there's already debate about what San Jose will do if they go with Frondell, the kid from Sweden, or not. So what I actually like is I don't go into the day feeling too confident in anything, which means it might end up being pretty entertaining. But the biggest question is just with everybody not in LA where they normally would be, I don't know if that will make it less interesting or more interesting, and I'm hoping it's more interesting.
On that note, though, do you think it's kind of a one and done? I mean, most people we're talking to would be like, yeah, they'll go back to the old format next year or whatever. Like, do you think that this could have some legs, perhaps? I mean, other leagues do it. There is something to get from it, I guess. You are not getting, as you mentioned, the coziness on the floor, but just because it's different doesn't mean it's worse.
Right. What's weird is that everybody already seems to decide it's going to go back to the old way before we've even seen it happen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's very bizarre all around. So I do feel like it's going to go back, but only this league. And I say this somewhat lovingly, but they go to a decentralized draft, which it means by design, lots of people don't go there. And then now they're going to announce the CBA extension this morning in Los Angeles at the draft where like not a lot of people are now because you've discouraged them from going. I mean, it's just the whole thing has felt sort of ham-handed and I don't get the sense there's buy-in at the very top of the league. I think Gary Bettman and the senior league staff would like to see everyone together. They like the way it was. And so, but my guess is we're going right back there.
How does it affect your job? And the reason I ask this is I've been in not the same, but similar situations where when you're actually physically around fellow reporters, there can be a little bit of groupthink. You can kind of end up starting to chase all the same thing all at the same time. Is that going to be affected by this, or in the day and age of Twitter, is groupthink unescapable?
I mean, it might be a little bit something we can't escape, but the other thing is obviously just a lot more is going to be done by phone.
Yeah.
Part of what I liked about the draft, quite honestly, is especially an area like in LA where the LA Live area around the rink, for anyone who hasn't been there, is very compact. There's hotels, there's restaurants, bars, what have you, but all really close together. So if you walked around there in a traditional draft format, you couldn't walk 10 feet without bumping into an agent or someone who works for a team or what have you, another media member that you would know. And so I liked sort of the convention feel of the draft and a lot of information, quite honestly, did get passed back and forth face to face in that environment. Sometimes late at night over a beer or what have you. Obviously I don't have that this week. I'm sitting in my kitchen right now and I'm going to the TSN studio tonight for when the draft itself is happening. So it's going to be a lot more texting but I think everyone will have to be communicating that way. I mean, the GMs will be communicating amongst themselves that way. And so everyone will just be staring at their phones a little more. I guess it's the modern era vibe, but it's not as much fun. But I don't know that anyone out there cares about how much fun I'm having. I mean, let's see if it works better. I mean, I'm open-minded enough to understand, we're moving to a more digital world and things like this will probably continue to sort of change and evolve over time. So, maybe there's a world where this will be the norm, but I feel like the NHL isn't ready for it, quite honestly. Like everyone I talked to in the last few days about anything is complaining that we're not all just together having this conversation in person. So I think there's still a lot of people with power in the league that want to see it go back to the old format. And so I think we will, because it just doesn't, it feels weird it's going to be strange. Like it'll be me, Pierre LeBrun and Darren Dreger sitting tonight in a studio in suburban Toronto, staring at our phones. Like we could all just be, anyway, I think it feels a little bit like isolating, you know what I mean? And it's usually the most sort of together time of the whole calendar for hockey people. So I look forward to getting back there.
Yeah, we had Bruce Boudreau on yesterday, and he was just going off about how he's, multiple job options and just networking and all of that. And you're right, it's kind of that year-end get-together, the mixer, I guess, the NHL mixer, we call it. And speaking for Wil, I think we hope that you do have fun. I hope that you're constantly having fun, Chris. Charge up that phone. Good luck tonight. Have as much fun as you can with that group. And thanks for your time today, man.
No problem. And I look forward to the Dallas Aikens look back segment in an hour or so here.
God. Aren't we all?
If only you could have been here on the ground floor, you would have loved every minute of it.
You know what the funny thing is? I've got tons of time for Dallas. He's a good man.
He's a charming man. He really is.
I wasn't there for all that, so I don't. Some of the stuff I don't remember.
No, as I said, his problem is he took over an incredibly flawed roster with a fan base that thought it wasn't. Like
wrong timeline. Yeah. No,
and he tried to make reporters eat healthy, and that was just terrible mistake right out of the gate.
Yeah. That was the line crossed. Yeah, he's still paying for that. Thanks again, Chris. Enjoy the night. Enjoy the draft.
See you guys.
TSN's Chris Johnston for Pro-Am Sports. Once again, all the caps you need, Pro-Am's got it. You can hit in here today, flat brim wheel, curved, snapback, fitted, golfer, low profile, and the dad caps.
I know at least 4 of those. I know what 4 of those mean.
All leagues, all sizes, all styles, all fits. Pro-Am Sports is ready and go. Go see the Cooks and Boys. Tell me Steve sent you. St. Albert Trail, 128th Ave, or online at proamsports.ca. Well, I'm getting excited about this Dallas Aikens. That's good segment. You have probably...
His eyes.
Do you have any, well, I mean, we'll wait for the segment, but stories that maybe you've been holding on to for all these years that you'd like to kind of maybe an anecdote or...
honestly, a lot of the stories have been told in one setting or another,
that's the
right?
problem.
Like,
we all kind of know it, but
like, here's Dallas's other problem is that he came in after a run of really legendary coaches. Not so much in legendary success, but legendary personalities.
Yeah.
That like he was too friendly of a guy, right? Like when you're taking over from a Pat Quinn, when you're taking over from Craig McTavish, when you're you look at Craig McTavish ripped the tongue out of Harvey the Hound and then put it in his pocket like a handkerchief, like. It's some really sort of legendary guys. And yeah, for him to come in and be like, guys all need to eat healthier. It didn't start well.
Multiple texts flying in, 780-218-9999, Paris Jewelers inbox. Good time, Charlie. He took all the good food away from the press, too. Big T from Regina got rid of the donuts and brought in veggies. And Ryan from Saskatchewan, those guys on the team were wild. Booze, drugs, and girls were the priority. Winning was secondary.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, we all know that from... I'm sure everybody's got a story or two out at one of the Cook counties or wherever. Take your pick, fill in location bar in the blank field, and
like even the coach that he took
there.
over for, and the name escapes. I mean, the guy like worked with the the central bank of Europe. Like he went on to manage a European football club.
Yeah, Southampton.
Yeah. Right, like so. Like it was just like a cavalcade of really interesting, diverse head coaches, and then
Kruger.
There was
Ralph Kruger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then there was a certain earnestness to Aikens that just did not go well with that team.
He came from the whole Maple Leaf school of, I mean, that was that's an institution.
Yeah.
So you graduated.
I actually think the Aikens type of head coach is much more common in today's NHL. But it wasn't then.
No, exactly. Yeah. He was ahead of his time. Wrong timeline. Again,
right.
For him, it was a wrong timeline.
Back then, it was take your pick. Barry Trotz was the most normal out of all of them. And we're talking about Barry Trotz.
But you mentioned the guys before, Lowe, McTavish, Quinn, Rennie, Kruger. And then it's Aikens. After that, it's Todd Nelson for that brief time. But McClellan, Hitchcock, Tippett. Like you get back, like it's the pendulum swung back.
That's
you know what I mean? Like, with that type of old style personality. But again, Aikens stories, that's good. 8:20, we'll be doing that.
His eyes.
And then wash down those tails with the Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. We do have some breaking news out of the NBA this morning.
Okay.
Masai Ujiri out as Raptors president entering final year of contract. The architect of Toronto's lone NBA championship is leaving. Departing the organization after 12 years.
Okay.
Of course, overseeing the most successful era in the team's history.
So obviously he and Rogers could not come to an agreement on how much control he was going to be given.
Yeah. MLSE made the move with 1 year remaining on the deal. Out as vice chairman and president of the Raptors. That's this morning, Masai Ujiri. They parted ways, I guess, is the official from Sham Charania. Well, I mean... I don't know. Yeah, probably a business deal, not so much Well, I mean, maybe involving the success of the team on the court, but probably more so at a boardroom level.
I would wonder if I would wonder how much the Giannis Antetokounmpo situation plays into this. Is this a case of Giannis letting it be known that I'm not going to go to Toronto? And once that became known, management within Toronto was kind of like, okay, well, then it's time for a fresh start. If we can't leverage his relationships in the basketball world into immediate dividends, then we'll just stay the course on whatever rebuilding program that we're on right now.
Your thoughts, if you have any. I know I saw Jasmine popping up in the, she says, Raptors are dumb. So there you have it. That's her 3 words to describe that situation. Raptors are dumb. 780-218-9999.
Time will tell.
Yeah, time will tell. Quickly, your Play Alberta early bird special, not up yet. Dusty, again, probably sleeping, as you said, under an Afghan with Huss on Huss's futon, I would assume. Maybe not even pulled out. They were going to.
He's rolled into the back of it. Right, because there's a bit of a slant to most futons.
That's one of those.
And he's stuck.
Yeah, that's one of those stag.
Like he rolled the wrong way.
Yeah.
He rolled the wrong way, and he doesn't know how to get out.
I like that they were planning to. We'll take it out when we get home later. And then they get home later, and they're all and they're like, just get down there.
I can't do it. Yeah.
So we'll have an early bird special, probably from Dusty.
Yeah.
Coming up here.
Huss is stuck in the lazy boy because he can't reach the handle.
Exactly.
To retract anything.
Yeah. Taquito on the floor, on the carpet. We do have a Lock Shop partner parlay up, though. You can go to playalberta.ca. Sports on the top tab. EST specials on the left-hand side. Alouettes to win. Lions to win. Argos Red Blacks under 53.5. You can get that right now at plus 610. So Play Alberta, once again, download the app and those codes for the month of June, which is coming to an end here soon. If you want to peruse the casino, EST Casino, $20 deposit for a $50 casino code, and EST Sports, $20 deposit for a $50 free bet. That's all going on for the month of June. Let's get to a sports update with YouTube Trev for Park Mazda. We'll be back. Marshall Ferguson will be joining us in about 10 minutes' time. We'll go over the Week 4 CFL slate and some racing as Formula One picks up again this weekend, already on the track practicing for the Austrian GP. Wil Fraser in for Dustin Nielsen. I'm Lieutenant Eric. Once again, here's YouTube Trev with the sports update. It's the Nielsen Show, presented by Southfort Chevrolet on Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta.
This just in, Masai Ujiri's time has come to an end as vice chairman and president of the Toronto Raptors. Ujiri was with the organization for 12 years, delivering 1 championship back in 2019. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers remain undefeated on the season, while the Edmonton Elks remain winless following a 36-23 loss last night. The Elks are now 0-3. and have now lost 13 straight games against the Bombers. The Elks won't hit the field again until July 6th when they welcome in the Ottawa Red Blacks. CFL Week 4 continues tonight as the 3-0 Owls hit the road to take on the 0-2 Ticats, this one getting underway at 5:30. And in the majors, the Toronto Blue Jays capped off their 3-game series, shutting out the Cleveland Guardians 6-0. They take this series 2-1. The Jays continue their road trip later today in Boston to take on the Red Sox. First pitch going at 5:30. And the NHL draft is set to take place later tonight. Albeit decentralized, touted prospect Matthew Schaefer is projected to go first overall. The Oilers have 4 picks in this year's draft, the first one coming in round 3 at 83 overall. And closer to home, the Edmonton Riverhawks and Victoria Harbour Cats game was suspended yesterday due to rain. The Riverhawks are back in action later today when they open up a 3-game series in Nanaimo to take on the Night Owls, which you can listen to at 7:45 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. And as for the Energy City Cactus Rats, they take the win over the Swift Current 57s. 9-8 is the score. Those two face off once again later today. First pitch going at 3:05. And day 2 of the Rocket Classic is underway. where Aldrich Potgieter is still alone at the leaderboard. He is 1 under through 9 in Canadian. Adam Hadwin has fallen to 42nd. He is even on the day. He has yet to tee off, but he is 5 under through day 1. The sports update is brought to you by the fine folks at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, your dealer for life.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as newborn 8-pound, 6-ounce Mitch Lewicki. You can picture grown-up Mitch, or teenage Mitch, or bearded Mitch, or whoever you want.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
What say you? What say you? What say you? What say you? What? What? What say you? What say you? What say you? What did you say? What? What did you say? What? What? Did you?
7:36. It is the Nielson Show Friday installment here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com, streaming on the iHeart TuneIn radio apps, and of course on YouTube. If you are watching this morning, hit that thumbs up, give us a like, and subscribe to the channel. Wil Fraser in for Dustin Nielsen. Dusty had the call last night. Elks falling to 0-3, albeit a spirited bout in Winnipeg against the 3-0 Bombers. Zach Collaros doing Zach Collaros things, and ultimately 13 fourth quarter points saw the Blue Bombers pull away. Dusty will remain on the road. He'll have the call tomorrow night in Regina, 5 o'clock, Rough Riders and Lions on TSN. We'll be joined shortly by Marshall Ferguson. Give me a little heads up if you see Marshall in the green room. We'll get to him whenever. Marshall Ferguson, CFL and TSN, and racing enthusiast. So his thoughts on this weekend's Austrian Grand Prix as well. Will, we were talking, you heard the play-in music there. I know we were talking Dallas Aikens heavy, but we shan't forget about Kavis Reed. What a golden age, hey? I mean, you had the Roman Empire. You had, alive. Yeah, that was, God, we didn't know we were in it, hey? You don't know what you have.
Oh, we knew we were in something.
It was something, but it only takes the looking back part where you're like, this is, right. This was something.
It was hard for the fans.
Absolutely.
It was not hard for us.
It was exactly what you wanted doing this type of work.
Yeah. Which isn't to say that success is hard on us either.
That's great as well. Great for business.
But it was really good. It was really fun to come into work.
Every time there was a presser or any sort of media available, I just rubbed my hands together because you knew you were going to get something. Like, boy, oh boy.
And not fun in the, like, cheering your favorite team on fun, but fun as in the nature of our job was endlessly interesting.
Well,
and hilarious.
The hilarity ran. Yeah. We were so high, Will.
We were.
So high. Hersey says, just checking in here, 780-218-9999, Paris Jewelers inbox. I'm seeing Darnell Nurse trade talk on Twitter. What am I missing here? Yeah. Look.
I don't think you're missing anything. Are you missing anything?
Not until it happens will you miss it, right? It hasn't happened yet. We've all missed it.
Don't blink.
Look, there was some stuff last night. Trevor's phone was blowing up. You're not even on Instagram anymore. And you were all hot and heavy about the ground. You re-downloaded it.
No, I did not.
You got the app back to check out the rumors.
No, I did not. Incorrect.
Yeah. Just, if you key in his name, look, there could be something with Darnell Nurse today, but as of right now, 7:37, Friday, June 27th, 2025, year of our Lord, right? That's what they say.
I heard that, yeah.
Just rumors. Nothing yet. So, are you buying the noise or not? I mean, you can certainly, if you want to go online and look at somebody's Instagram bio, or you want to subscribe to a talking head, by all means. I mean, take the blue and the red pill, right?
Take them all.
Do it all.
Yeah.
This is the time to do it. But as of right now, nothing concrete has happened regarding Darnell Nurse or any else of the inner core, the outer core. Nothing. What's the unofficial motto of today's show? Nothing has happened until it happens.
Until it happens.
Yes, and I think Barry, who's still probably in the lead for text of the day this morning, $20 to A&W, by the way. I love this time of year, he says. Everything is happening until nothing happens.
Yeah. When it comes to Darnell Nurse, I think that there is a perception outside of this market that he is less appreciated inside this market than he really is.
Okay, so there's a perception from outside the market that he's appreciated less.
Yeah. So like if I'm a hockey fan, hockey speculator outside of this market, and I'm looking at the Oilers, I'm throwing Darnell Nurse up there because my assumption is that the Oilers want to move on from him. That the fan base has soured on Darnell Nurse, and so they need to move him out. And I don't, after this past season, I don't think that's actually the case anymore. And with the salary cap going up, I don't think that that's the case so much anymore, right? 2 years ago, Darnell Nurse was an overpaid defenseman for what he brought you.
Yeah.
Starting next year, he is going to make exactly what a Darnell Nurse makes in today's NHL.
Some people, though, will never. Some people have dug their heels in.
No,
on
you're
this.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah,
is that the situation on the ground when it comes to Darnell Nurse. Now, listen, he could be traded in the next 3 minutes, but if he is traded, it will be for a hockey reason. That hockey reason might be because they need to move on from him because something went wrong in the room, or all the other reasons that players get moved. But he makes too much money reason has faded into the distance moving forward with an expanding salary cap. Because everyone who brings what Darnell Nurse brings is going to be making what Darnell Nurse makes, right? So like your replacement value to go and get a Darnell Nurse is going to cost you the exact same amount.
Ken says, if you're buying the Nurse rumors, well, I've got lakefront property in the Sahara Desert for you. And Tom Gazzola texting my personal phone, can you remind people that no-name people get too much attention?
Yeah.
So
I think we're kind of all kind of circling around the same thing, where it's kind of like, I don't know if people outside of this market know that Darnell Nurse, at least from our perception, is a pretty beloved member of that team.
He's the core.
Yeah. Right? It's a group of guys that are getting together for a wedding pretty soon here, right? Like, they just, that core group doesn't strike me as a bunch of guys that are looking to blow anything up.
Right. As much as you may want to, as much as you see other markets doing it, and that's all fine. But this is a situation where this is just how it is.
And we're just telling you the temperature of the room, not what's going to happen. Because as we've been told, we won't know.
Anything can happen when it happens.
Yeah.
Let's get to our next guest today, and we appreciate his time. He's a summer guest. Love having him on the show, and can talk about a multitude of fronts, probably even the NHL draft tonight if he wishes. Marshall Ferguson, CFL on TSN, joins us today. You look like are you on the bike?
I am. I actually, Honda Canada hooked me up with one of my favorite bikes for the last couple of weeks, and I rode over this morning to give my 4.5-year-old a big hug on his final day of school before Daddy goes to work. So,
good stuff.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was, it's nice a good excuse to get on the bike early in the morning. That's for sure.
Yeah, you can find any reason to. Are you on? What are you on the call this weekend?
A Grom, a monkey? What are you?
No, you know what's funny? I would love to have the Grom or the monkey. This is the Honda Transalp, which is It's an adventure sport bike that's not the biggest in their lineup. Everybody already knows the Africa Twin is like the big bike. But the Africa Twin, to me, I've ridden it as well, and it's a 600-pound, 1,000cc beast, and it's intimidating as all hell. So I like this one. It's about 100 pounds lighter. It's got a little bit less kick, but it's designed basically for if you get stuck on any back roads, you're good. It's like it's got a 21-inch front tire that's got a ton of grip and stuff. So I've seen the videos of people riding this the way you're supposed to, which is not what I do, which is like, flying through the forest at 150 kilometers an hour. I'm more of a use it to get to and from work commute, but enjoy the ride. But yeah, this thing's an absolute beauty. So it's a great bike.
Yeah, next time we want to see you on the 40cc monkey. I think that'd be a good visual.
No, it's funny. I'll tell you a quick story. So covering Canadian motorcycle racing for TSN, it's the Canadian Superbike Championship. And a couple of years ago, we had in our super sport category, our top rider, a rad hose popped as he was going through a hairpin corner, and he crashed because there was water on his rear tire. And he got back on the bike, and he actually kicked the GoPro that was attached to the back of his bike off. So I'm on the radio, and somebody goes, "Can somebody go get Ben Young's GoPro? It's somewhere in the field at turn 7." And I knew that another one of our riders had a Honda Navi, which is a street legal bike, right? But it's tiny, just like the Grom and the Monkey that Honda makes. So I actually went and said, hey, can I grab this Navi and take it out on the track? They're like, sure. It's an automatic bike that's designed for people who live in like really urban downtown areas because it's small, but it tops at 80 kilometers an hour. Hell, if I wasn't pinning the thing at 80K going around the racetrack, I was like leg off, dangling, knee down, all this, like trying to, and all the marshals as I'm going past were just like, who the hell is this guy? Like, because I had a TSN shirt on and I was on the racetrack 5 minutes after the race had ended, and they're all like, yeah, that's not okay. And it's, of course, I come around as I'm going through the pits, got a standing ovation from the crowd because the TSN guy was ripping on the bike, which was amazing. So yeah, I love those little bikes, man. They're so much fun.
Let's stick with the racing then. We'll get to the CFL here, but just this is personally my favorite time of the year for Formula One. This schedule kicking off Austria, you got that European jaunt. Your thoughts heading into this one? I know practice is underway, but coming off the Canadian Grand Prix, the week off, where are you at right now in terms of the top, the constructors, the drivers? Big stories heading into Austria are.
I think it's great to watch Max have to fight. Like everyone's biggest fear in Formula One, and rightfully so in any championship, be it motorsports or otherwise, is like the worst thing you can possibly have is a guy at the top that just walks his way to victory every single week. And to see the resurgence of McLaren, and also the dynamic of the fact that Max is essentially running like a one-car team at this point, and McLaren is the strongest two drivers outside of him. Now, I know George was good in Montreal and all the rest, but it's like the consistent pace of the Mercedes I don't think is really there as of yet. McLaren is an absolute monster all of a sudden because the last couple of years they have figured out so much, to the point where I love like every Monaco Indy 500 Sunday that Zach Brown has to clarify where he's going to be, because he's like, well, we have good cars everywhere. Like they have figured out in the last couple of years, the steps that they've taken are fantastic. So Austria is not a track I think that creates a ton of great racing, but it does create a hostile environment because there's a ton of Dutch fans that make their way over, and Verstappen has the grandstand. I do also love that the obviously the Netherlands orange flares will go off in favor of Max, but orange is McLaren's color. Yeah, and I don't know if they have papaya flares that they could use at some point in a McLaren grandstand, but it's a cool dynamic to see those three, like whether it be Lando or Oscar and Max having to go toe to toe to toe, and then the great kind of equalizer is who's the random car who can jump their way into the final qualifying session and try to make all hell break loose. So I'm always hopeful that is going to happen, because I think that's what makes racing so fantastic. I mean, I was watching MotoGP, which by the way, this weekend is in Assen, which is also in the Netherlands, and it's an unbelievable track. They've been racing there for 100 years, and it's this really old style flowing track that you don't get a lot of anymore. But I was watching that a while ago, and it's like, they weren't sure if it was going to rain or not, and so the teams are like switching the wet tires on, this and that, and you end up having a race that nobody could have predicted, where there's just random people everywhere in the top 10. So you need to have that, because it really does hurt ratings and overall interest if you start to see the same thing week after week. We all know that in any league.
Let's get to our league here, the CFL. Week 4 kicking off last night. Look, patience is something that's extremely thin right now in this market, obviously, but it is the dawning of a new day, a new era from top to bottom with this Elks organization. Losses in week 1 to BC, then in a bye week, you get a strong Alouettes team here in town last week. Schedule God's not good to the Elks, but there's nowhere to hide on a CFL schedule. Thought, though, playing a little better heading into the fourth tide last night. Just your thoughts on another loss and the Elks dropping to 0-3, albeit a better showing in Winnipeg against a strongly led Caleros team last night.
Yeah, I mean, it's as we know, Zach's 50-15. They mentioned on the broadcast last night with Dusty and Glenn, and it's like it's damn near impossible to go into that place in that environment with that noise, and especially as a younger quarterback. Like, it's not as though Trey is new anymore. He understands what he was going into last night. But I thought Edmonton weathered the storm really well and battled back in. Now, I mean, if Winnipeg doesn't bust on that Keon Julian Grant deep crossing route that he scores on, the score probably looks a lot worse, right? But it was also a little bit of karma because Keon should have had that touchdown at the end of the first half. So it's kind of like, full circle stuff that you always see in the CFL. My whole thing on Edmonton right now is, like, getting Serezna back is amazing because he was just an absolute freak last night. And, like, to be tossing around Stanley Bryant a variety of different times. Stanley is older. He's not in a retirement home. Like, he's still the starting left tackle. He's still the multiple-time All-Star. So to see Serezna playing like that, I thought the linebacker play at weak side and middle with Anderson is like, it's some of the best stuff that you'll see in the league. And the fact that he's running out underneath a bunch of throws 20, 30 yards down the field is amazing to me. But then I always come back to and obviously the conversation's always about Trey. I love Trey's game. Like, this is the way that I have always looked at Trey's game. And I think I continue to look at it this way, which is he's the most exciting player in the whole league, period. Like, regardless of position or anything or nationality, he's the most exciting player in the Canadian Football League. I love that he brings excitement. I also love that he is figuring out how to use his unbelievable physical attributes smarter and smarter as time goes on. He is running backwards, but not because he has his head cut off anymore. He's running backwards because he's figured out through live reps in games, if I run backwards and create some depth away from these people, I can beat any of them to the edge and buy myself some time that I can actually get a throw off. So he's doing that more and more. But the thing I always come back to with his game is, in the CFL, you're going to make 9 out of 10 plays correctly. The 10th one that you don't make, if it's a game-changing play that goes the other direction, it kills you, especially late in the game. And there's a couple of times last night where Trey, the clock goes off in his head, and then he just decides, time to go, and runs himself right into a sack. And you saw on Caleros' essentially game-winning touchdown last night, he danced his way through the pocket, passing, I think it was 5, maybe 6 rushers, and he never once dropped the ball and was like, head down, time to go, and start trying to find your exit. Trey, I think, will learn over time that he can work the pocket. He can slide to his left the way that Zach did, and then shuffle up, and then kick to the right, and then keep his eyes downfield. And then if you need to run, you do it. I know they want him to run, and they should, because he's so good at it. But his pocket feel, I think, has a little bit of work to do, because sacks kill drives. Just statistically, that's what they do. And if you run yourself into sacks, you're going to kill the drive. And if you do that enough, you're going to kill a bunch of drives, and then you're not going to win football games. The other thing is pre-snap processing and read. You can tell, the hot throw he had to get out last night because the blitz was on. He catches it, and then it's like, oh, I gotta get rid of this because the blitz is coming. That's just a pre-snap thing. He needs to see it, identify it, and then his thought process has to be, if they're going to blitz here, if I have to get rid of it, I have to know where I'm going with the ball before I get the ball in my hands. At times, I think, late snap adjustments, all the rest, it's unfair for me to quarterback couch this, but I just feel like he struggles at times identifying where to go with the football before he gets the ball in his hands. And part of that, and rightfully so, comes from him knowing, once the ball's in my hands, I can do anything, because he's so damn talented and athletic. So I give so much credit to the Edmonton organization, Mark Killam and Jordan McSimick as offensive coordinator, because you guys know this, there's probably, if we were to replay this season 100 times, every organization gets 9, 10 shots at this. Trey's probably pulled in 90% of those situations, because veteran quarterback in behind him, guy who won a Grey Cup not that long ago, younger quarterback who's making these sporadic plays. I have so much respect for Edmonton actually letting him learn on the job and having the patience to allow him to figure this thing out and thrive, because what I learned from watching Trey at Waterloo was if you give him a little bit of time to figure this thing out, he will, and then he'll be great. So I love that Edmonton is giving him the breathing room to figure this out.
Naylor said it flat out last night on the panel. Like, you can't, I mean, yeah, it is tempting. And you mentioned with a Cody Fajardo waiting in the wings, but he's not going to get any better without getting the live reps at this level. So, yeah, I mean, and again, going back to the whole patience thing, unfortunately in this market, it's thin, and it's the mantra of just win, baby, to, bringing a guy up where he needs to be and can be. Going down the sked here, though, are you on a call this weekend? You got Hamilton?
I am. That's why I came and gave my little boy a big hug this morning, because Dad's got to go to work tonight in Hamilton. So I've got Montreal up against Hamilton, so I get to see if Bo Levi Mitchell can figure out the impossible chess game that Noel Thorpe plays week in, week out.
Well, for my fantasy purposes, I sure hope he does. I'm feeling kind of bullish on the Ticats tonight, Marshall. Of course, Davis Alexander, who we got a good snapshot of here in town last week. MBT will be under center, correct? I mean, that was kind of confirmed yesterday. Your thoughts heading into this one that you'll be calling tonight on TSN?
I do so many Montreal games, and every week, every quarterback that we talk to, whether they're an East Division team or a West team that's getting, their one or two kicks at the can against Noel Thorpe and the Alouettes defense, it's always just, they run this impossibly convoluted scheme because everybody knows that, watches it at home, that knows anything about football. It's like, stand up end and moving around. And then all of a sudden you got these personnel packages where it's like extra defensive ends and nope, actually that's Jeffrey Canton Arcou. But why is he on the field? There's already 3 other linebackers. Well, it's because he's basically a hybrid rush end, all the rest. And then it's like, oh, look, Marc-Antoine Dequoy is blitzing, or Marc-Antoine Dequoy is lining up like he's blitzing. And now we're dropping Wesley Sutton back to free safety and we're rotating over and Dequoy's playing linebacker. And Jeffrey Canton Arcou is like the robber. It's like, I don't know how you're supposed to identify anybody or what any of these defenses are. The thing I love is when you get a veteran quarterback, because it's easy, right? When it's a young guy, you go, oh, he's screwed, because there's no way he's going to be able to see this. It's so great when you get a quarterback like Bo, who has to go up against that, because he has to try and identify it and understand it. And he's seen it so many times throughout his career. But it's like, Bo gets extra angry in game when he makes a mistake against Noel Thorpe, because he knows that he's seen it before, and he's like, I watch tape all week, and I've been watching tape in a 9-team league on Noel Thorpe defenses for like 15 years. And when he makes the mistake, he's like, I made that mistake in like 2015. Like, how did I do it again, right? So I love that he has to go up against it. Hamilton came into the season as potentially, whether it be Shamar Bridges, Tim White, Kenny Lawler, it's like, could they have 3,000-yard receivers? Could they have 4 if Keandre Smith gets up to action? Yeah, but like, there's a lot of great players in that offense. Bo's going to throw for a ton of yards, and then it's like, will it stick on the scoreboard and will it equal victories? Yeah. And Montreal right now is the ultimate, doesn't matter who's in, doesn't matter what the injury situation is. Oh, we decided to get rid of our star running back. That's fine. We'll be good. We got 2 other guys that can do the job. They just keep rolling, and Hamilton is trying to get rolling. So it's a great dichotomy, I think, to have these two going head-to-head tonight.
Just quickly back to the racing before you go. You're clearly busy tonight, so you won't be in front of the IMAX screen for opening night. But can we expect an F1 movie review the next time we talk to you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've heard that there's a little bit too much lovemaking potentially for me to take my my little guy to the theater. But every time he sees the ad, and it's, when you're a kid and you see a celebrity A-list guy like Brad Pitt going, nobody passes us easy, nobody. You're like. Yeah. It gets the juices flowing, right? Because he's like, oh, man. Like, obviously, we're old enough now that we see it. We're like, oh, Hollywood. God. Okay, sure. Yeah, it's fine, guys. But I think this movie, so the reviews that I have seen as of yet from, the UK premiere that they did with Lewis Hamilton in attendance, and then they did the one over in New York, which, by the way, I love that they did the American premiere and everybody was there except for Max.
Yeah.
Because he intentionally booked a GT3 test at Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. It's like, he's a freak. He has no interest in any of that stuff. He's like, I'm a race car driver. Just leave me alone. But I think this movie, from everything I've seen, it actually captures a little bit of the speed and the danger that Formula One has on track. So, I won't be able to go tonight, but I will be making my way to an IMAX or one of those like 4D moving seat theaters, so I can try and get but maybe I'll wear my helmet as well. Maybe I should do that when I go into the track.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah. Go to the bathroom in your suit during the movie, maybe. Hey, looking real good.
I'll throw that on in the theater and just sit there with a fake wheel and be acting like I'm going back and forth.
I love it, Marshall. Thanks for your time this morning, man. I don't know if you want to send us off with a sound off or anything. Yeah. Give us a little.
The thing I like about this engine on the Transalp, it's got a little growl. So.
That's not bad. Yeah. Is that a 750? What is that?
It is a 750. Yeah, it's not the last bike that I had from Honda is the most fun I've ever had riding a motorcycle. They gave me a CB 1000 Hornet SP, which is a naked bike, which means it weighs basically nothing, and it has a Honda Fireblade. Man. It has a Honda Fireblade 1000cc engine in it, and it's like you shift from first to second gear, and the thing just wants to wheelie to the moon every single time. So this is a little bit more enjoyable and relaxed, but they're all great bikes. So yeah, thank you to Honda for hooking me up and having lots of fun. And I will be riding this down to the stadium tonight, despite the fact that Dwayne Ford tells me it's not allowed.
I want Dwayne Ford in a sidecar with the goggles and the scarf.
I was going to pick up Claire Hanna because she's doing sidelines for us tonight because Shanetti's on soccer duty. And I said, Claire, do you need me to pick you up from Pearson when you're flying from Ottawa? She's like, never. Not a chance. Never. Not a chance. No chance she's ever doing that kind of thing. I said to Suits, but he came in last week and did Saskatchewan, Toronto with me in Toronto. And it was him and Britt Dorth that came in, and they were like, yeah, we got to get the rental car. I was like, guys, just rent a Harley and ride your way down the 427. And Glenn's like, hey, Britt, what do you think? We'll just hop on the bike and go down. And same thing. Britt's like, I would like to actually get to the game. That would be great. Like if we
thoughts on lane splitting? Are you pro or anti?
You know what?
Splitting?
I had this conversation with somebody the other day. I said if I lived in a place where people were not so egotistical and self-absorbed that they would put their cars in front of you as you're lane splitting because they're grumpy that you have the ability to go past them and they are stuck in traffic, I might do it. But we also live in a culture in North America that has no concept of lane splitting whatsoever because it's never been allowed. So even if I've done it a couple times because I need to, not proud of it, it's not legal, whatever, but it's like if you got to go through traffic and you do it, people just don't even understand what you're doing. They think you're just breaking the law and being basically just an idiot. But you go to Europe and it's like lane splitting's super normal. It's part of daily life. So just one of the many things that we might want to fix here in North America when it comes to two-wheel culture. But hey, that's just me.
Have a great call tonight, a safe ride down to the stadium, and we'll be watching. Thanks again for your time, Marshall.
Thanks, guys. Fingers crossed there's thunderstorms in the forecast. So.
Marshall Ferguson, CFL and TSN. We love his time. A man of many. I smell a racing podcast between the two of you. I would. You are. I never knew. I know you are a man of vast knowledge.
Yeah.
I can throw any topic to you. You'll have a take on it.
Yeah.
I never knew though that the racing game that you were so kind of into.
Yeah. Listen.
You're guessing 750s and 820s.
No, I am a closeted motorhead.
I guess. And this has always been like, we're all Formula One, Netflix, and now the movie, and everybody's like, oh, I love racing. Yeah. But no, you are like an old head here.
Yeah.
Like
and that's exactly it, right? Like, you and I have talked about this. Like, I was really into open wheel racing.
Yeah.
And the death of Greg Moore, like, honestly,
I loved Greg Moore.
It broke my heart to the point where I questioned whether or not people should do this. Right?
Yeah, it's like there is risk.
Like to see that kind of a life get snuffed out for my entertainment really caused me to think, is this something as a society we should be encouraging?
Well, we watch football.
Right. Well, that's just it, right? Like, I mean, but in football, they're not having their lives snuffed out in front of
second.
you.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not a rarity in racing. Right. Like, and so I've always I've had a love-hate relationship, but as far as like enthusiasm for the tech, enthusiasm for like the skill behind it, man, I can't get enough of it.
Well, Dakar Rally.
Yeah.
Like all that stuff. That's where I want to go more so.
Any place where
mankind is on the razor's edge of what is capable, you can't look away. You can't. Right? Like, it's interesting. He was talking about MotoGP. Like, in the last couple of years, they've developed a new technique in riding form where guys are literally dipping their helmets below their handlebars to get just a fraction of slip.
It's all
advantage.
It's all
like, and
down
when you
to the
see them do it, you're just kind of like, that's insane. Like, that is, like, I personally don't own a motorbike because, like, he was just mentioning the culture in North America. It's not safe.
Yeah.
Like, like, God bless him. He's also a bigger man. Like, he can muscle around.
He's a quarterback, college
He can
quarterback.
muscle the equipment around way easier than a 5'7" guy like I can. So he's actually physically safer on a piece of machinery than I am. But it gets the saliva glands flowing. Like you
get hot.
Yeah,
I can feel it from here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. Like when he fired up that, like, once you've been around enough engines, they kind of have a tone, right?
Sure. No. Yeah. Well, you get used to it. I mean, it's like listening to guitar or whatever. If you're
exactly.
You know
what? You're actually bang on, because my love of music is probably rooted in the same sort of areas, in that it is an audio physical stimulation that kind of draws you into it. And so you're right. Like I own a lot of guitars, and every guitar has its own sort of personality. Yeah.
This just in, Ryan Rashog on Twitter, or X if you prefer. Lots of chatter in various circles about Darnell Nurse last night and this morning. My understanding, he says, is there's nothing to it at this point. Lots can change quickly, but as of now, it's not a thing.
I guess this is our standard operating
not a bucket
procedure.
of cold water, but room temperature.
Yeah.
From Shoggy. So take that with what you will. More on that coming up. Third hour on the way here. We want to make sure we cover a little time for Dallas Aiken's memory time coming up at around 8:20 for That's Good in the Italian Center Shop.
That's good.
We'll talk Dallas Aiken's while eating a panino. Hey, what's better than that?
He'd be so upset about that.
He would, but whatever. Yeah. I mean, if you want to play Kind Easy Trivia right now for Mr. Mike's, we got a GC on the line for Mr. Mike's. Text in 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. That's the Paris Jewelers inbox. Nine. Yeah, exactly. Text in, say, Trevor, I want to play. He'll pick one of you. Will's got the question. Oh, you're done, hey?
They're off and running.
All MotoGP. Today. Hope you know your
cruel.
Mr. Mike's on the line coming up next, and 3 questions to many. If you have any questions specifically for resident know-it-all Wil Fraser, guitars, motors, engines, whatever you want, he'll answer them.
Dream guitar, Gretsch, if you need to know. Yeah, sure. I'm sure that was going to be the question. Right?
You've answered the question. Get him in. And, of course, Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. A big winning hour on the way. Your chance to $50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. Wil Fraser in for Dustin Nielsen. I'm Lieutenant Eric. YouTube Trev's got a sports update now for Windsor Plywood Leduc. This is the Nielson Show on Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta.
Masai Ujiri's time has come to an end as vice chairman and president of the Toronto Raptors. Ujiri was with the organization for 12 years, delivering 1 championship back in 2019. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers remain undefeated on the season, while the Edmonton Elks remain winless following a 36-23 loss last night. The Elks are now 0-3. and have now lost 13 straight games against the Bombers. Elks won't hit the field again until July 6th when they welcome in the Red Blacks. CFL Week 4 continues tonight as the 3-0 Owls hit the road to take on the 0-2 Ticats, this one getting underway at 5:30. In the majors, the Toronto Blue Jays capped off their 3-game series, shutting out the Cleveland Guardians 6-0. They take this series 2-1. The Jays continue their road trip later today in Boston to take on the Red Sox. First pitch going at 5:30. The NHL draft is set to take place later tonight, albeit decentralized. Touted prospect Matthew Schaefer is projected to go first overall. The Oilers have 4 picks in this year's draft, the first one coming in round 3 at 83 overall. Closer to home, the Edmonton Riverhawks and Victoria Harbour Cats game was suspended yesterday due to the rain. The Riverhawks are back in action later today when they open up a 3-gamer in Nanaimo to take on the Night Owls, which you can listen to at 7:45 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. As for the Energy City Cactus Rats, they take a win over the Swift Current 57s. 9-8 is the score. Those two face off once again later today. First pitch going at 3:05. Day 2 of the Rocket Classic is underway, where Aldrich Potgieter is atop of the leaderboard. He is 2 under through 11. And Canadian Adam Hadwin has yet to tee off today, although he is 5 under through day 1. The sports update brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and the surrounding area since 1993. Doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood Leduc.
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, there's a lot of people that make that tune, namely Dallas Aikens, featuring, Michael Cera.
And
Burton Cummings.
And
the rest. 8:11, you are tuned into the third and final hour of the Nielson Show here on Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta. The Nielson Show presented by Southport Chevrolet. We're coming to you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio. Snack wraps on special right now. Grab a sack for yourself. Wil Fraser in for Dustin Nielsen. He'll have the call tomorrow in Regina. Riders and Lions, CFL and TSN Week 4 continuing. Of course, the Elks dropping to 0-3 last night with a loss out in Winnipeg to the Bombers. And YouTube Trev keeping you updated on everything going on in the
Burton Cummings
sports world. Well, not now.
When he's got the full stash?
No, but not with the full. He is on that album. What's the album where he's just like smiling? Like, yeah. Yeah.
Dead ringer.
Yeah. But now no stash.
No stash. Yeah. Now he's just
smooth
handsome.
face for the
Now
house
he's
party
handsome.
tonight. How much are you charging for a ride, or are they free all evening long?
Okay, you don't.
All evening long.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
First ride's free, that's for sure. Hey?
Okay, yeah.
I think so. It has to be, right?
Yeah. That's how you get them hooked.
Yeah. That's it.
Whatever.
Who do we got playing trivia today for Mr. Mike's?
I'm calling them right now. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, not a problem.
I'm sorry. Were we distracting you?
No.
I'm sorry. Was that our fault?
Nope. I'm calling them right now.
Come right now. 780-218-9999. McDiesel says prolific sniper Nuge. Hot take. These Eyes song is better than the other Eyes song. Comes in from Jen. No, we were saying it's the often forgotten about B-side of the Aikens Eyes album.
That's right.
Is that the Hungry Eyes that's your pop hit. This is more for the sickos.
That's your song of the summer. Right?
Yes.
But when the winter months come and you need to dial it down a little bit, little mulled wine.
That is the mulled wine of the Aikens collection. Yeah. If you have any Dallas Aikens memories, I mean, we're waiting for something to happen because nothing's happened yet. But it might happen today, but it also might not.
We won't know if anything has happened.
No.
Until it happens, if it does, which it might not.
Yes, and just to bring you up to speed, Ryan Rashog dumping a bucket of lukewarm water on the whole Darnell Nurse discussion.
There's another way to describe
from last night.
I can't remember.
Lots of chatter in various circles about Darnell Nurse last night and this morning. My understanding, Rashog says, is there's nothing to it at this point. Lots can change quickly, but as of now, it's not a thing.
What is this body temperature warm liquid that's being poured all over it?
So Dallas Aikens memories at around 8:20 here, or maybe even earlier from that's good in the Italian Center. We got a panino. You don't mind eating a panino cold, hey? Cold paninos today, boys? It's getting hot out, hey? I don't mind a cold sandwich.
I was going to say no, but then you referred to me as one of the boys, and I'm back in.
Who we got online, Trev?
This is Jason in Leduc.
Jason Leduc, how you doing, man?
I'm excellent. How are you guys doing?
Can't complain.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good.
It's Friday,
Yeah, beer of the week's coming up.
Draft tonight.
What would we complain about?
Oh yeah, lots of exciting rumors.
Oh, do you have one?
What's your rumor?
Do you have one for us, Jason? You like to share?
No, I got nothing. Sorry.
Really? Do you have
I might be getting a job. There's a rumor that I might not be a stay-at-home dad for much longer.
What?
Okay, not congratulations yet, but a rumor, I guess. So.
The state is taking your child?
No, my daughter's old enough to babysit.
Oh, there you go.
And you'll be running this babysitting business, or is that the job you?
We don't talk about things for tax purposes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, well, good luck with the rumor, and good congratulations when you do get the job. Yeah. Jason, you are playing for Mr. Mike's. It's a gift certificate there, Mr. Mike's. They're turning up the sizzle with Platterpalooza, barbecue rib platters, coastal combos with lobsters and prawns. Big flavor all summer long. Plus, enter for your shot at sizzling summer prizes. Mr. Mike's Platterpalooza. Eat locally, enjoy casually. Jason, you're a long-time listener.
Sorry, you cut out there. I hope that doesn't happen during the questions.
I wasn't reading that for you. Yeah. It was just it was a sponsor read. I'm reading it for the listeners.
Him. We're encouraging him to go to Mr. Mike's.
I'm reading it for the listeners. Yes, he's playing for Mr. Mike's,
Yeah.
but I'm reading it for the listeners. I didn't cut out. But no, I certainly hope it doesn't cut out for you, Jason. Here, can you hear me? Good. Are we all good?
I can hear you now.
Okay, perfectly. Don't move. You need 3 out of 5. We'll start the ticker after I read the first question. Which league held their draft Wednesday?
The NBA.
Which league holds theirs tonight?
The NHL.
Do the Oil have a first-round pick?
No.
Do the Flyers have a first-round pick?
Yes.
Does the English Premier League have a draft?
Come along.
That was
sure. No.
All summer long. The answer is no. No, because they're a real league.
My name is Julius, and I'm your twin brother. I've been looking forward to this moment my whole life.
Excuse me, but I was just taking a shower. Tell me a little bit about Vincent. Was he a great athlete? Was he interested in chess and poetry?
My name is Julius. My name is Julius. My name is Julius.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Yeah. Jason and Leduc unlocking a club beat loop on this Friday morning. 8:17, Lieutenant Eric Wil Fraser in for Dustin Nielsen. We'll get to That's Good here in a matter of minutes. 3 questions, 2 minutes right now. For the great staff at Park Mazda, your dealer for life, go see Mitch out in the park or online, parkmazda.ca. Jason
Flyers
Leduc,
have 3 picks in the first round.
Sure, I don't. They do now, but they may not later.
But we won't know.
We won't know until
it
later.
happens, and it may not happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That is the environment in which we are dealing in.
Yeah,
this is why we reminisce about the Dallas Aikens days. Is because currently what we have is we won't know if there's anything to know until we know it, and we may never know that.
Yes. You don't have social media. Trev's deleted all of his social media apps, so there's nothing to go on here. You can follow Edmonton Sports Talk at YEG Sports Talk. Where are you going? Hey, do you want to also cut up one of those sandwiches for us?
After you wash your hands.
Nope.
He's going to the bathroom, and you just asked him to handle food.
Yeah, I would hope that he, does it in the proper order.
Hope? There's
There's
this
always
is not
hope.
something you just hope for. You demand it. You make sure that it happens.
Sheldon Not in the White Garbage Truck says, I still wear red racing gloves because of Greg Moore. What a talent he was.
Yeah.
How can Dusty be friends with Suits when Ferguson has a bike? Great question, Martin. Maybe.
Do you know?
We'll ask Dustin.
Dustin would cry real tears if he had to ride on a motorcycle with him. I would cry tears of laughter watching hearing Dustin on the back of a motorcycle might be it might be too funny. It might break. I may never see anything more funny than that.
I'm sure his mom has some sort of old video VHS copy of him on some.
That's right.
Yeah. 10cc.
Exactly. Yeah. Some farm dirt
going
bike.
Around the alleys of Cranbrook or something.
Him just toppling over. Yeah.
Coming to a slow and then
dunk.
Yeah. 3 questions too many right now. Question number 1. And this leads into the next segment. And we've discussed a lot of them. What was your favorite Dallas Aikens quote or memory?
Well, we mentioned my favorite, and it was when he broke down the math on whether
the rebounds and
whether or not you had a higher percentage chance of scoring on rebounds rather than first shots. It was still one of those moments where he was saying it, and everyone was kind of like, "Is he goofing on us right now? Like, is he trying to take the piss out of analytics? Is that what he's trying to do?
Yeah.
Like, is he in on the joke? Like, is he kind of like, hey, these eggheads." This is what analytics is.
He could have sold it that he was.
Right.
Like that's
like if he would have done that, we would have all been like, oh, you're right. We do talk too much about analytics because a lot of it is just telling us stuff we already knew. But no, he was bang on serious about it at the time. It's not a quote.
Mm-hmm.
I wear my shirts in honor of Dallas Eakins. Although if I want to go true Dallas Eakins.
Hello.
Gotta do that.
Keep going.
Yeah. Dallas
Put
Eakins,
the hat on.
hating the buttons on his shirt was my favorite thing about Dallas Eakins.
There's a popular GIF out there, and it's him on the bench looking out towards the ice, and then the turning of the head and the staring into the camera.
Yeah.
Which looks kind of like
which camera?
An automated.
Are we on one or two? You're on one, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he's not into it, and then his eye kind of shifts towards the lens.
Yeah.
That's a popular GIF. Of course, the Taylor Hall water bottle incident comes to mind. I do love, though, the Sunday sharing on the road with Nail Yakupov. And a guy that, again, took away the junk food from the media, treated his body like an absolute temple, still does to this day.
Yeah.
But eating an ice cream sundae with Nail Yakupov on the road, I thought was just a heartwarming
There are
moment.
still some Oiler fans out there. And probably, actually, you know what? That's not fair. There are still hockey fans outside of this market that blame the Oilers for Nail Yakupov. That are like, if he'd been drafted by some other organization, he'd have turned out, but the Oilers just screw draft picks up. Even after McDavid has done what he's done, even after Leon Draisaitl has done what he's done, even after his eyes, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has become the player that he has. There is still that perception out there that it's the Oilers who screw up these draft picks and not the fact that they're just bad hockey players.
Roy Anderson in the Nasty Chat on YouTube says, "Nurse to Nashville?" ? Which leads me to question number 2 here. What is one move you could see the Oilers making today?
Arvidsson. It's Arvidsson.
Yeah,
it's Arvidsson.
no.
It's Arvidsson. It's Arvidsson. And then it's Arvidsson. And if it's not that, maybe
that's
maybe,
so boring.
Maybe goaltending.
Now we're getting into it.
Maybe
yeah,
goaltending.
okay. Yeah.
Right?
I like that.
However, I think every team out there with goaltending to move, with good goaltending to move, knows that they're in the catbird seat and they're waiting to create some sort of a market. They're probably waiting until after free agency opens to maybe pick on the teams that missed out on signing the goaltender that they wanted to get. So, but yeah, perhaps goaltending. Like, could you see a Thatcher Demko trade today? Yeah, I think you could. I don't think that's crazy.
I love to see this. We're going to get to this in a matter of minutes. Did you heat them or are they cold?
Considering the unknown nature of the Vancouver Canucks and where they see themselves. I think we could see them looking to just move on from Thatcher Demko.
Question number 3, and Trev, you can jump in the play with this if you like. It is a Global Beatles Day today, commemorating the music of the Beatles, of course, popular British English rock band.
Yeah.
Favorite Beatles song?
Ooh.
It's a tough catalog, I know.
Can we include...
you want one from each era?
No, can we include songs from members of the Beatles?
No, it's got to be the group. Ha-ha! Got you there.
Oh man.
Wait, okay. I think in order to get this, I said that. What was the first thing that popped into your head in terms of, like, you'll hear a song? What is it?
Like if you said,
like, yeah.
If you said
test.
Beatles and song, that's where I was. It's going to be George Harrison. While my guitar gently weeps, right? Like, but that's not a Beatles song.
No, but so thinking now what pops into your head?
I can hear the song. I'm just trying to come up with the title. Helter Skelter.
Helter Skelter.
Helter Skelter.
I watched a Charles Manson doc the other night.
How do you not?
Netflix.
There's
Well, they're
8,000
great.
of them.
I know.
Yeah.
They're all brilliant, but
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
that White Album, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
but Helter
sit around the campfire.
You're telling me you don't hear Helter Skelter and immediately crank it up? Like that's a rock and roll song.
I Want to Hold Your Hand.
Yeah.
I like the earlier stuff.
Yeah, good.
I really do.
Just going out.
I like it all.
Going out on a date with your gal, are you?
Yes, I like the whole.
Yeah. I actually went down a huge Beach Boys. I
think we all did.
Yeah,
I think we all did. The greatest stoner rock band ever,
dude. Brian Wilson is without a doubt on the Mount Rushmore of greatest songwriters ever.
Trev, what do you got? You got a favorite Beatles tune or what?
Hey Jude.
Hey Jude. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's probably mine.
All right. Not bad.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll probably go with that.
The James Bond theme that Paul wrote after leaving the Beatles. God, what was the name of that song? That's a straight up banger as well. Some of their best work was done after the Beatles.
Yeah, I know, but She Loves You.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going back to the 60s.
Yeah,
Come Together is pretty good.
Yeah.
I love Come Together.
I'll see you there.
Thank you. That's good.
That's good.
We're gonna get
That's
into
a
that.
filthy song, by the way.
No, it's not. It's totally respectful.
Come Together?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. What am I missing?
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Will?
exactly.
Yeah, Will, what are you talking about here?
Full of sick, perverted innuendo.
You'll be playing that on a loop tonight at the house party.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he will.
Yeah, let us know your favorite. Whatever. We'll. It was just yeah.
What about you?
Celebrate the Beatles. No, I said. I mean, I like. Again, all those.
I wanna hold your hand. Are we gonna be?
It's been 100 days.
Hard Day's Night is pretty solid.
Yeah, I love
that's
that.
pretty
I love that crap.
solid.
It's great. Yeah. Let's get into. That's good for the Italian Center shop right now. Quickly.
That's good.
We've been doing it throughout the show. We're waiting for something to happen. It's probably going to be Arvidsson. You're probably going to be disappointed. It's not going to be this heavy swinging, or it might.
Or it might. We won't know until it is, and then we'll know.
There might be something.
We might not know.
There might be something. So we're having a little fun. We're playing These Eyes. We played Those Eyes, Horse Eyes.
These Eyes.
Yes. And we're talking Dallas Aikens memories. So if you have any, share them with us right now. Maybe you saw him. Maybe this is a personal memory. You saw him out shopping or something like that. Share it right now. This text flies in unsigned. I think my favorite Dallas Aikens memory has to be when a reporter asked him about placing dead last in the NHL coaching rankings. And his only comment on it was, well, there's no place to go but up. I'm not even sure if that's a real story, but I just heard about it. LOL. It does sound like an Aikensism. You could probably do a book, good toilet reading, Dallas Aikens 101, and then it's just,
I'm being completely honest in this. My problem with you going my favorite Dallas Aikens memory is it was so long ago, my brain is so addled that I have conflated the tall tales that Dave Jamieson used to make up about Dallas Aikens into real memories. That's my problem. Like, he used to paint a picture of Aikens in a full spandex cycling suit out on the back roads of California.
What just happened?
That I feel like I saw it. I feel like I was there
that's a thing.
and he cycled by.
That's a thing. Well, yeah, you reached out and touched it. Like it was real to you. Yeah, it wasn't just
I feel like I lived that moment.
Yeah.
Because JMO would paint such a vivid picture of it.
That's good for the Italian Center
That's good.
shop. That's the best thing about this segment. And the paninos. Go get yourself
and the food.
Get yourself a panino today. Is this the hot or the mild? It's the hot, eh? I think, yeah. Hot, mild, whatever it is. You can heat them up or you can
call
eat them
that
cold.
hot? Huh.
Well,
bring it on.
But I do like eating them cold now during the summer months. Hot in the winter, cold in the summer. But you do you at the Italian Center. Produce,
that's
great
good.
bakery, amazing donuts as well. A creamed horn if you want. I mean, they got the orange Gina pop drink, all that stuff. But
They've
the
got
paninos
sorbet.
right now.
Speaking of summer months, they've
Sorbet,
got the
absolutely.
store-made sorbet.
Matty Iwanick loves that. I guess he was going on about ice cream the other day. But yeah, you get in there, dine in, take out, whatever you please. We got a couple of paninos in there. I wonder how long they'll last if we even get to them by Monday. Enjoy this now, Will, because
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
thank you for including me.
Absolutely. Well, you'd probably say,
That's good.
Now it's just for Trevor's dad.
Yeah.
It's an audience of one at this point.
And when you go to the...
Yeah, he did. Yeah, for the nasties, a little behind the scenes. But before the show started today, I told Will, I forgot to tell him yesterday, but all weekend when Dad took my brother and I to the game 5, he was just saying, that's good to everything he saw, or everything he drank, everything he tasted.
I'm glad there's another old...
In that tone.
I'm glad there's another old weirdo out there as well.
And he'll just say, he'll just randomly just, that's good. Like just randomly. He just loves it. It's his favorite bit. I like it too, Will.
That's good. Oh, yeah. Dads have to be careful about saying that around their kids. Some people might take it the wrong way.
Well, you're original where this comes from. We're not going to say it on air, but yeah, I still like that.
Yeah.
Smith TM14 says Dallas Eakins with T-Rex arms, mouth open behind the bench, making fun of a ref or a linesman.
Oh, yeah.
I guess not a specific moment, but one that he would kind
on a
of
call that he was
do.
mocking.
Yeah. The rookie says no love for the Yellow Submarine or Maxwell Silver Hammer.
We all live in a Yellow Submarine. Come on, man. What is this, Sesame Street? Pick a better song. It's not like they don't have a vast catalog.
Trev15 says, hearing Frederick's signing rumor, 8 years. Please confirm, boys. Have a great weekend.
That's been the rumor for the last 2 weeks.
Is it confirmed now?
As per Darren Drager.
It's confirmed.
8 years at $3.85 million.
3.85.
All right.
Okay, so I mean, again, we all knew it.
That feels like fair market value. Am I?
Oh, with the cap going up.
Well, it doesn't feel like an overpay to get a guy to stick around. That feels like you're paying him what any other good team would pay, and if you're a bad team, you probably have to add $500 to $1 million to it. Right? Like
it's the term. It's the term.
If the Calgary Flames made that signing, they'd have to pay him $4.2.
Any clause added onto this? No move, no trade, anything like that? No?
TBD.
Hey,
which isn't meant to throw... By the way, Flames fan, that's not meant to throw shade on the Flames. It's just to say this is the stage at which your organization is at. When you are in your competitive window, it is easier to get guys to sign up to you long-term at whatever the fair market value is. Whereas if the guy's like, well... If I'm going there, I'm going to get my head kicked in for 8 years. You better pay me handsomely to do that.
There is shade.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Come on.
All right.
You don't have to.
All right.
We're not.
All right. Fair enough. I rescind my no shade. Shade thrown.
That was something that's good for the Italian Center shop. Get yourself a panino today.
That's good.
Treat yourself this weekend. Just eat out there. Why not? Trev's got a sports update here for Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge. Of course, the Frederick deal. Big day happening here on a Friday. Usually all the news, what do they say? You bury news on a Friday, right? No.
Governments do, yes.
Yeah, but not in the sports world, baby. We're just heating up. So, Trev will have more on that, what's going on around the world of sports this morning. We'll be back with a Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. We're going lemonade tasting.
That's going to pair perfectly.
Lake Brewery. Yeah, it'll be nice to wash these down. So that's coming up next. Wil Fraser, in for Dustin Nielsen. I'm Lieutenant Eric. This is the Nielsen Show, presented by Southford Chevrolet here on Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta.
Per Darren Drager, Trent Frederick puts the pen to paper for 8 more years in Edmonton with an AAV of $3.85 million. Frederick played 22 games in the postseason for the Oil, notching 1 goal and 3 assists. Masai Ujiri's time has come to an end as vice chairman and president of the Toronto Raptors. Ujiri was with the organization for 12 years, delivering 1 championship back in 2019. And the Winnipeg Blue Bombers remain undefeated on the season, while the Edmonton Elks remain winless following a 36-23 loss last night. The Elks are now 0-3 and have now lost 13 straight games against the Bombers. The Elks won't hit the field again until July 6th when they welcome in the Red Blacks. CFL Week 4 continues tonight as the 3-0 Owls hit the road to take on the 0-2 Ticats, this one getting underway at 5:30. And in the majors, the Toronto Blue Jays capped off their 3-game series, shutting out the Cleveland Guardians 6-0. They take this series 2-1. The Jays continue their road trip later today in Boston to take on the Red Sox. First pitch going at 5:30. The NHL draft is set to take place later tonight, albeit decentralized. Touted prospect Matthew Schaefer is projected to go first overall. The Oilers have 4 picks in this year's draft, the first one coming in round 3 at 83 overall. Closer to home, the Edmonton Riverhawks and Victoria Harbour Cats game was suspended yesterday due to rain. The Riverhawks are back in action later today when they open up a 3-game series in Nanaimo to take on the Night Owls, which you can listen to at 7:45 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. And as for the Energy City Cactus Rats, they take the win over the Swift Current 57s. 9-8 is the score. Those two face off once again later today. First pitch is at 3:05. And day 2 of the Rocket Classic is underway. Where Aldrich Potgieter is alone at the top. He is 1 under through 13, and Canadian Adam Hadwin has fallen to 52nd. He is 5 under through day 1. The Sports Update presented by Selly's Sports Bar and Lounge with wall-to-wall TVs, daily food, and drink specials. It's the place to be for every Elks game. Every day is game day at Selly's Sports Bar and Lounge. I'm YouTube Trev. You're up to date.
The Nielson Show features...
Taylor Hall, he came in and moved them all. 1 for 1, the deal's done. Bobby Mack let us know. Ryan Strome, lost it twice. Drake from Manning was not nice. 2 good picks, they went for Griff. Pete just had to go. Eric Greiber buyout, what was that all about? Miko signed a 3-year deal, and my friends, that ain't no steal. Traded for Spooner, shoulda canned him sooner. Chris Russell, Lucic, no movement on their deal. Pete left a tire fire. Bobby Nix is searching for the perfect person. Pete left a tire fire. Now it's tough to do well when you're stuck in cap hell.
37, you are tuned into the Nielsen Show Friday installment, final hour. Of course, the Hangout coming up next, 9 to 11. Matt Iwanek, Tom Gazzola. I would assume Jason Milne, unless he is not needed again, as he is sometimes not needed by Matthew Iwanek. But we will see. Benny, who's no?
I think he's on holidays.
Oh, you're in. Oh, the 3. Okay, 3 amigos there. I love it. Jason's on holiday?
Yeah.
Okay, love it. Well, happy holidays, Jason.
His life's a holiday.
Well, it kind of is. Yeah, he's having a good time, that guy.
We're having a good time.
We're having a good time as well. We're going to be having a better time here in a matter of minutes. Snake Lake Brewing will be the Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. We've got a raspberry lemonade and 3 beers here to sample. And, of course, this is your chance at $50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. So you can text that in right now. Say Beer Me. Text Beer Me, 780-218-9999.
999.
That's the number. Text Beer Me. And we'll put all the entries into a large hat. We'll mix them up, and we will draw one lucky winner, and you'll be $50 richer in Sobeys and Safeway Liquor credits. That's Sandwich, eh? Italian Center.
And like, you tasted like another.
You confessed that you're not a bread eater so much anymore.
No.
So this is like this is making you emotional.
Oh yeah,
like you were getting.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. Well,
it's going to be so bad for my poor wife later today, though.
Treat for Pop-Pop. Hey, Pop-Pop needs a treat every once in a while.
It's a good thing the weather's nice because I'll have to spend a lot of time outside.
Those windows will be down.
Keep the windows open.
Oh, the windows will be down.
You're going to want to be down, upwind.
Yeah.
Not downwind.
Of course, Trent Frederick, that's official now, courtesy Darren Dreger. You heard it in the sports update there. But it is courtesy 8 years.
Trevor.
Exactly. He had it first, I believe. on the show. 8 year, 3.85 is the AAV specifically.
Like somebody had to tell Darren, right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't get all the credit.
No.
It's not like Darren's like courtesy of anyone else. So why do we have to be courtesy of Darren?
What is the saying? Not. It's better to be accurate than first, or right to get the reporting.
I don't think anyone has said that in a long time.
Not a long time.
That is
well now because you're on the internet, so nobody cares anymore.
Right.
But in true traditional journalism is let's get the story right.
Aren't you quaint? They teach you that at Nate. What internet are you on?
Yeah, so that's why the thing. Yeah, that's
and no witnesses.
No witnesses
not
at all.
One?
No, not one.
Holy cow!
Because I killed him.
I'm glad you got away with it.
Yeah, we're gonna get to Sobeys Safeway Liquor Beer of the week. It's a real shame that everybody's internet went out because we were riffing.
Listen.
Boy, were we riffing.
Yeah. Once again, if you lost connection with us, phone your internet provider because they screwed up.
Obviously, that's what it is. Or the weight of the Frederick news just kind of.
It broke the internet.
Yeah, the bandwidth.
Yeah.
Not enough bandwidth.
You know what? That's a possibility.
Let's get out to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer. He's not frozen anymore. We were just impressed that you could hold a smile so long.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny there. But Adam from Snake Lake Brewery, to which we've sampled your beverages before, I do believe in the past. But welcome back to the show. I can't remember if we've spoken with you or not, but welcome. We got it dropped off. I put it in the fridge. We got some beer, but we also got this lemonade raspberry, and we'll get into that. But first, just an overview. Snake Lake, where is it? What is it? How did it come to be? How long you been brewing? Just a tale of the brewery, if you will.
Absolutely. So we're in Sylvan Lake, Alberta, obviously, Alberta. But Sylvan Lake was originally named Snake Lake way back in the day. They actually changed the name to Sylvan Lake in 1903. So we kept the original name for the brewery, just to add a little bit of heritage, kind of a shout out to the old school part of town. But we've been brewing since 2018. We opened in February, and we're like a pretty fun group at Sylvan Lake. We're a trades background. Like I'm a heavy duty mechanic originally. Worked in the oil field, worked pulling wrenches for 14 years. Tried to get out of the oil field, became a commercial pilot, started flying a few charters out of Red Deer. And during that path, ended up getting a little bit drunk one night with my buddy Bill, and we were home brewing and decided we should build a brewery. So I sold everything that I owned, sold both my airplanes, my motorcycles, half ton, my acreage. I had a shop in Sylvan. He did the same thing, sold all his toys off, and we built Snake Lake Brewing Company with two other partners.
Yeah,
and,
joined hands and just dived in together. Hey, that type of thing.
Ride together, die together.
Yeah, love it. Well, let's get to the sampling here. Where did you want to go first? It is 3 beers and the lemonade. Do I got that correct from the drop box there? I didn't want to miss anything, but 3 beers, and I assume you want to leave the raspberry lemonade till the end, or do you want to start there?
You betcha. No, we're gonna start with the Pilsner if that's cool.
Sure, absolutely. This one here.
This beautiful beer. Is it okay if I talk about it a little bit? Like I got.
Yeah, please do.
Please, I'll pour it and yeah.
This beautiful beer, this year actually, we sent it in for the World Beer Cup, which is like the World Brewing Awards out of the entire globe. So it was judged down in Indianapolis. Is that right? Indianapolis? Yeah. I always get that wrong. Anyways, we got a message back. Out of the entire world, like 186 entries, this got a silver. So this is a really cool beer.
Congratulations.
Nice. Thank you. Our brewers are amazing. We have 3 fantastic brewers at our brewery, and they just kill it year to year. But if you look at this beer, it's completely spotless, clear, beautiful. This beer takes us 40 days to make. We actually have a reverse osmosis system where we strip 7,000 liters of water at a time and then rebuild the water back up to whatever region or country the beer comes from. So this being a German Pils, we actually strip the water with RO and then reintroduce the calcium chloride, the calcium sulfide, the pH level back into that water to as if you turned on the tap over there in that region and made it. So like water is your biggest ingredient in beer. So water chemistry is huge. This is just a nice, clean Pilsner, but now it's world recognized. So cool. And that's a really nice, easy one to start off with.
I'm so glad you told me about the water because it comes through on the nose. Like the fact that this is not just, you didn't just turn on the taps, this is a really clean, like this is a pill. Like,
it is.
Like,
and it's not, we don't use the lake
which
water.
is interesting. We're so used to cloudy beers these days. To see an old school pill is actually kind of nice.
Right on. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, cheers to the water and to the silver medal.
Thank you. Yeah, we've had that one right around since the day we opened. That's one of our originals.
That's really good. I'm not surprised you guys medaled. That's
clean.
That's a pill. Wow.
Right on. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
This is a good way to start the day.
And so I guess we should probably tell the listeners, if you have grown up around here drinking what the big brewers call a Pilsner.
Oh, well, that's a name.
And so you see Pilsner and you're kind of like, I don't know. I don't like skunk beer.
Yeah.
That's not what this is. This is delicious. This is clean, smooth, and you're probably going to get drunk on it because you'll drink it way too quick.
Yeah, dangerous.
Yeah.
It has happened to me once or twice.
Yeah.
Adam, where do you want to go next year?
We're going to go for the Drink Easy. So this one's kind of funny. So there's two stories I'm going to tell you about this beer. One is we originally launched it as kind of a joke beer in January after, this was like several years ago. It was New Year's. Everyone had their New Year's resolutions. Everyone's working out, not drinking. So this is a 3.9% beer. And it's like, this can is only 140 calories. And what we did is we made it like low cal. And the way we did that is we fermented all the sugar right out of it and then rebalanced it with a nut called monk fruit. And I didn't know what monk fruit even was. I had to Google it. My brewers came to us and they're like,
it still makes you laugh, eh? Like,
yeah. But I had, so it's like 100 times the sweetness of sugar without the calories. So you get balances out that bitterness of the beer, the hops, everything in there. It's still a hazy. We dry hop this one. It's got awesome combination. Like if you smell it, it's got that very citrus forward but it's low cal. And so, but it launched, it went well, it took off. And then now this fine fellow that's on the can.
Yeah.
So he lives close to here and actually approached us and said, hey, could you do like a custom label for my new song release? So he just launched a song called Let It Ride. And so we did the QR code on here. You go on there, it takes you to his song. You can check out his new song. This is his fiance's favorite beer. So we did the label for him on there. And I actually got to go to Kelowna on Monday a couple days ago here and shoot the music video with him. So we had the beers. Yes, I went out on the boat. We did some water skiing. All that. It was like 1975 based.
I like the idea of the QR code on the can, though, to listen to the song. That's pretty neat. I mean,
it sounds like you're living the most interesting life ever.
It's pretty fun, especially coming from pulling wrenches in minus 30 to like bombing around and meeting people and getting to do this stuff like this in the morning. This is awesome.
Yeah, like I would have thought the pilot's license would have been enough of a crowning achievement. Like,
for most it is.
To go from turning wrenches to flying planes. Sure. That you'd be like, well, I've done enough. But no, you were like, that's not even my starting point. Yeah. Now I'm going to shoot music videos.
And luckily, I got a beautiful lady that lets me do all this stuff. So she didn't, like, I'm still married. She didn't divorce me or nothing over all this stuff, but she's very supportive.
Cheers to this. Cheers to Pritchard.
Yeah.
And cheers to you being in the music video, man.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun. I am so sunburned.
Were you kind of like the main character in the story, or were you?
No. He definitely was. I was in the background, a big black wig. If you watch the music video when it comes out, it's like we go back to 1975. So I got like super short jean shorts on and this like weird vest. I look like with aviators and like fro. It's hilarious.
Dude, you're in Sylvan Lake. That's not going back in time.
Oh, I kept the shorts.
Yeah, that's this weekend. Yeah.
I assume the IPA next?
Absolutely. So this beautiful beer is our best seller for our beers. This is in all the original Joe's. Earl's has it on all the kegs. Edmonton, if you go to any keg in Edmonton, it's on draft. We sell this in all the Sobeys liquor stores. It's our best-selling beer. We sold this since day one. We opened 3 months later. We got a Alberta Beer Award. We got a gold medal for it. And since then, it's just skyrocketed for us. And this beer has got an awesome combination of citrus, Simcoe, Mosaic hops. If you smell it, it has this incredible aroma. People that don't like IPAs drink it. It's just a beautiful New England style.
Yeah, the Sidewinder IPA. It's a recognizable name and a good beer that we've had a couple of times. So cheers
it's actually a good second one to one of the first twos because this will actually slow you down a little.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's called getting sidewindered. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Sidewinder.
Not to me, but no, it's good. But that beer is just like, it's kind of become our staple. That's who we are. That's what big part of our personality. And it's definitely well-renowned throughout the province. We get good recognition for it. It's a good go-to. It's a nice fallback.
To the weekly deal now, though. It is the ready-to-drink line of lemonades featuring the limited edition raspberry. What do you want to tell us about this? What's the deal as well that people can find in the Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Flyer?
So this, with 3 years, I think 3 years ago now, we ended up getting a piece of mail misdelivered to us. And so we went next door to the building beside us and said, hey, we got your mail. And the lady said, hey, I guess this won't happen when you buy our building. And Bill said, how much? So we ended up taking over this building. And then since then, we built a distillery. So now we make vodka, gin. We have a barrel of whiskey on the go right now. And this is our vodka mixed in with this. So this is a lemonade recipe we started with, non-alcoholic. It got a gold medal out of Alberta. So then we were like, we should probably put vodka in this. So we did, and it launched. And now it's through all the Sobeys liquor stores. You find it in 12 packs. It's on LTO right now, actually. But it's just everywhere. And it took off, which is crazy because we put so much time and effort, like 40 days into a Pilsner. This honestly takes like 2 days to turn around, and people just love it. So
I love the line. We should probably just put vodka in it. I mean, you can utter that really in any. I mean, that's a speakeasy line if I've ever heard one. What's the and this is the beer of the week, like correct, like the drink of the week. I guess the deal going on today, or
yeah. So this one we only launch once a year. We only do pre-sales for it for whoever wants it. It's a really cool one. Real raspberries are in here. That's real fruit that makes the color, the flavor. But yeah, we only launch it once a year for like Canada Day, so it's out. And then it'll be whatever's left on the shelf, so it gets eaten up, and then we'll do another launch next year. So we kind of keep that focus on it being like a summer launch. You look forward to it. It's like not an all the time thing. We just want to keep that excitement going because it's a cool RTD. Like this, did you try it yet?
Well, the color's great. Happy Canada Day. I mean, well, cheers to that, and cheers to the lemonade.
Go away. You should go to jail for something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, go away. Yeah.
Isn't it awesome?
No, like you're in trouble is what you are with that. Like,
it's crazy.
It's good. It's once a year.
Yeah, you should not be around open bodies of water if you're brewing something like that. Like,
and
put the water wings on before you open the can.
100%.
Yeah,
and that's still 5%. Like, there's 5% alcohol in there.
Yeah. Well, when you're drinking 20, it adds up pretty quick.
No, that's a dream, man. You hit it out of the park. Just put vodka in it.
So it's kickoff to Canada Day, basically starting today. Because of that, of course, I'll be in the Sylvan Lake area. In fact, I'll be within stumbling distance, as I usually am, to your tasting room. Anything special going on at Snake Lake for Canada Day?
We just have our usual long weekend stuff happening. We've got this is obviously available. We've got a couple new beer releases coming up. One actually is Kolsch called Stillwater, and that one is out right now as well. But we have such a tourist influx through the summer months that we try to keep events and stuff low just so we can keep people coming in, make room for everybody, make sure our food game's on, because we have like snacks and stuff in there too. We do lots of pub food, chicken wings, matzo sticks, that kind of thing. We got some beer cheese dips from Spill the Beans, which is a local cafe here in town. And yeah, we have a beautiful patio out back, lots of room. So stop in, man, if you're in town.
I was going to say, any sunshades yet on that back deck?
Well, we had a couple umbrellas, but there's this thing that we got like a wind tunnel going through here that likes to trash them once in a while.
Oh yeah, man. I've been to your tasting room many, many times, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm not saying it's bad. It's just like once in a while that happens.
Yeah. Well, I know how to get in through the back chain link.
Oh, boy.
No, I
love it.
I look forward to the two of you catching up Canada Day long weekend here. And Adam, thanks for your time, man. Snake Lake Brewing. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having us.
There you have it. Adam Nachbauer, Snake Lake Brewing out in Sylvan Lake. You can attest.
Yeah,
go see it.
Honestly, they are the perfect middle stop on a nice 3-stop microbrewery tour on Highway 20.
Okay.
So you can either start coming up from the south, Lacombe.
Yep.
Right along the highway. You stay on Highway 20. You cut through Sylvan Lake. Snake Lake is right there on Highway 20, and then you continue on through to Rimbey to Hawktail, and that is a perfect brewery tour for any sort of summer day. So if you are like me and you like to have a reason to kind of make somebody drive a van, and while the rest of you enjoy yourselves,
sure.
That is a perfect 3-stop
tour. A little off
tour.
the beaten path, if you will, and a nice kind of...
And there are many tours that you intend to do 3, and then you hit that middle one at Snake Lake, and that's where the tour stops.
Hey, whenever you're not in control of the tour, right? The tour controls you at that point. Let's get into the wrap for William Huff. Once again, Beer Me, 780-218
$9,999.
Text in Beer Me, and you could be heading to Canada today with $50 in Sobeys and Safeway liquor credits. The wrap for William Huff, if you want your place to look as good as ours, and we'll have to clean some of this up too.
And who wouldn't?
And who wouldn't? To get the wrapping done, I've always said I want one of those wildlife wilderness forest wraps. You want a little more of that?
No. No.
I'm taking it all then. William Huff, in business since 1952, so you know they're incredible at what they do. WilliamHuff.com. Gentlemen, what did we learn on the show today? I learned Troy. Troy's not here yet, is he? Troy?
Nope.
No, still not. I'm getting worried
I
now.
learned that if I did learn anything, I won't know until after I've learned it.
Bingo. And that goes...
I may not have.
Well, we'll get to that in text of the day. Nothing regarding Darnell Nurse yet. Right?
And there may never be.
Well, there may never be, but there might.
But there might be. But you'll know if it happens. But it might not.
The Trent Frederick deal official.
Yes.
That's 8 years. What is it? 3.85. Masai Ujiri out in the T-Dot. They part ways with Ujiri. 12 seasons. That's a reign.
And a ring.
A reign and a ring.
You got that chip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got the chip. What did you learn, Trev? You seem like you got something...
YouTube Trev, I'm up to date. Or now you're up to date. That started with Wil Fraser. I learned that. Yeah, after I said that once, he said, you know why that's a thing?
You know, that was
because I made it a thing.
That was my thing.
Yeah, I didn't know that was so.
Nobody uttered those words
no one
in
had
that
ever
string
said it before.
I learned
in that way.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I don't have anything like that. Maybe one day.
If I looked the way you look, I wouldn't need anything either, buddy.
You don't need to speak.
I would just let that face speak for itself.
Yeah, and that'll be it'll be speaking at the house party tonight. Eh? First ride's free. Is that what you said?
Something tells me it'll be too busy to speak.
What's the address?
I don't know. I
might have to go for a ride.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey?
I don't do addresses and like streets and all that. I do like it's by this.
It's a vibe.
Well, it's like
you're
it's
more
like,
magpie in your directions.
Well, like even like back home, like in Lethbridge, I don't know any roads in Lethbridge, but I just it's like by the Burger King, by the
that's
one car
okay.
wash.
Like you're only 14, so.
Well, I know it's bad, okay, but.
You're an adult. You're an adult and you still don't know how to use addresses? Do you know your address?
No.
Do you know your postal code?
No. I just moved.
Super
I knew my
duper.
other one that I was at, but this one is new, and I've been there for like a month. Come on.
Dude.
What do you mean, dude? Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. Bear, man, just take care of the basics, man. With a face like that, everything else will take care of itself.
Okay.
If you know where to tell the cab to take you at the end of the night, that's all you need.
Yeah. And like I point, like I take this left,
that's
take
not
this
helpful, right?
No,
Like,
it is, because I get there.
They love that.
Yeah, take a right at the
I'm
McDonald's is not going to get you home.
I live by the gas station.
Yeah, exactly.
You do take a right at the McDonald's.
Everyone takes a right at the McDonald's.
Oh.
There's 50 McDonald's, man.
Suppose.
You ain't Lethbridge anymore, kid.
I know.
You live in a big city now. Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
Nobody's going to learn where you originally got that idea from. We're going to keep that under the hat.
That's right.
Text of the day today, $20 to A&W. I love this time of year, Barry says. Everything is happening till nothing happens. Or nothing happens until something happens. You could go either way there.
It still might not happen.
He hit that opening hour, brilliant, captured the theme, the moment, so he's going A&W. Barry, you're going A&W. $20 to A&W. Come collect at your leisure. Sound of the day. We got 1 minute here. We're gonna flip in the B side again, Will, for just for you here. I know you like on a Dallas Aikens celebratory morning show. Hangout coming up next. I want to thank Wil Fraser for filling in. You'll probably be
welcome.
Sprinkled in more during the summer months as Dustin Nielson will be doing his other job.
Pretty busy guy. So.
Oh, I know. You're going on a trip, you said. Yeah, a BC jaunt.
Yeah, you betcha.
Matt's going to get really mad here because we're late. So
he's busy on the arcade.
Oh, he's playing the video game. Yeah. Oh, that's okay.
He's distracted. This is how kids call it stimming. He stims himself.
Stimming?
Yeah.
Is that Ohio? I want to thank all of our guests this morning. Chris Johnston, Marshall Ferguson, CFL and TSN. Wayne's for providing us that blaster box and crack pack in the opening hour. Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. Adam from Snake Lake Brewery.
That's good.
The Italian Center Shop. Get some paninos for your Canada Day long one. and Jason Leduc capturing the Mr. Mike's Kind of Easy Trivia Prize. For Wil Fraser and for Dustin Nielsen, YouTube Trev, freshly shaven, ready for a face ride tonight at a house party near you. I'm Lieutenant Eric. Thank you so much for tuning in from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio. This has been the Nielsen Show, presented by Southford Chevrolet, here on Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta. Hangout coming up next. Have a great weekend.